And we've also got, over in the States, we've got Mikey Fallon. How you doing, Mikey? How you doing, Mike?
Hello.
You both all right?
Good.
Martin
That's
Harrow
good.
was put in the chat. Why? Well, hello, Mr. Dix, which is how I said hello to you before we came on. I know.
That's very
It must
true.
be something in the air. We're all acting like Bond villains tonight.
Were we broadcasting? That's terrible. Because the things we were saying about Martin Harrow should not be.
Poor
should not
Martin.
be
We
broadcast.
didn't mean it, Martin. We were just joking. If you'd like to join Martin and Scott and Chris C and Reverend Kathy and Jane Lockwood and some guy called Mike Dix, whoever that is, in the chat, all you need to do is hit the big juicy subscribe button and join in the fun. But no trolls, please, because we will mute you and boot you. So, top story this evening. Lawrence Fox has launched a crowdfunder for his latest legal entanglements, where I think did he tell people to go and destroy ULEZ cameras, and now he's going to jail, and he wants to raise £10,000 for his legal fees, and he's raised £5.
That's got to be his mum, hasn't it, as well?
Stiff upper,
No, I have it
as
on-
they say.
I have it on good authority that his mum hates him as well. I think it was him.
Yeah.
I think he just put £5 to get him started. You know, like when you're busking or something, you put a bit of money in to get started. Oh, thanks.
Well, he's not going to get that
Yeah, it
$5 back just because of the processing fee. So that's only $3.50 towards his case.
Mikey, you're quite quiet. Do you want to knock your sound up a little
my
bit?
goodness.
A little bit.
Here we
Go on, Mike. What are you going to say?
The trouble with stories like this
Poor
is
little
that
loser fox.
if somebody
Hello?
like Tan shares it and says, what a joke, basically,
Yeah,
you
people
just
will
know some of the people that like him will put money in just to like. It's really difficult to cover things like this because you think maybe they just shouldn't. We just shouldn't talk about it.
Leapshin K, what's up? How
But
you
he
doing?
definitely deserves it. I mean, maybe it's the end of that grift.
Maybe. Well, another thing that's happened is
I don't know.
there's a statue of Melania Trump in her home country of Slovenia, and it's disappeared overnight, and all that's left are the feet and the ankles. It's the funniest fucking thing. I'm sorry, I'm just taking the wins where I can at the moment.
Am I remembering this story right? Wasn't there a really lousy wooden statue of her first, and then it was replaced by a bronze statue by a Trump supporter,
Something
and now
like
it's
that,
been
yeah.
nicked, basically. Perfect.
What's the point of statues?
You need something to put the traffic cone on.
I mean,
Well, you need
like,
to-
what's the point?
You need something that you can tear down in 100 years when you find out they were racists. That's normally the.
But
way
we
it works.
already know that anyone who has a statue ends up being a bad guy. So just stop with the statues. There's not going to be a person that's going to be worthy of a statue in our lifetime. So just don't even bother.
For a while, Mikey, over here, we had statue wars because some left wingers in Bristol pulled down a statue of a slave trader
And put it in the drink. It was awesome.
Yeah, chucked it in the river. Yeah, and now whenever there is a parade in London, there is an army of gammons standing around the statue of Winston Churchill protecting it.
Yeah.
And they quite often get beaten up by the police for being within the cordon that's already protecting the statue. Anyways. Kind of ridiculous.
It was beautiful. So what are you saying statues are a form of art? And I would agree with that to a certain extent. That there is a beautiful statue in the middle of Durham, and it looks really nice. It's a guy on a horse, got a big hat on.
Leapshin, yes.
Very well done.
We're
The actual
co-streaming
guy
today.
that it's memorializing was an absolute fucking arsehole.
It's typically how
So-
it turns out.
What do you do? I mean, it's, as a work of art, it's quite magnificent that someone managed to do that. It's out of my wheelhouse. Could you do that, Mike? Could you put together a beautiful statue?
I've got a 3D printer. I could have a go.
3D printer. Can you 3D print me a picture of me on Battlecat holding the World Cup
12 foot tall.
while Old Trafford burns around me?
Billy says, Mikey, tell him the horse statue has no tongue.
What?
That's what Billy told me to
Go,
tell you. The
Mikey.
horse statue has no tongue.
What, in Durham?
The one in Durham.
Oh.
Where you just said something about a horse statue.
Yeah,
That one.
there's a
I
horse
think,
statue, Lord Londonderry or something.
It's tongueless. It's a tongueless horse.
It's a tongueless horse.
That was
Yeah,
the name of
check
my
that out.
ska band back in high school. Tongueless
Maybe-
horse.
Maybe it was given all
Tongueless
that
horse.
and they just didn't want anything to do with it. Anyway, Mikey, what's going down over in America, I hear that some House Republicans have told Trump to fuck off. What's all this about? Tell me more.
The splintering has begun. I told you can't sell this shit. Like this nasty, horrible, xenophobic, illegal, unconstitutional shit that Trump is trying to push through. Yeah, he can say it on TV. He can get away with some of it in the short term, but the courts and the people are not pleased with what he's up to, and those people have Congress people who want to get reelected. So the original question still remains: are you more afraid of Elon's money, or are you afraid of all of these people that are furious with you? And it's looking like the furious people are starting to win out after a while. Took them a second, but yeah, I think this is just the beginning.
Splitting on though, is it the airplane?
No, it's his big beautiful bill. His budget doesn't make enough cuts. They're complaining it's not Trumpy enough. It's not cruel enough. It's not mean enough.
Well, even Howley from Missouri, who's a right bastard, is like, you cannot cut Medicaid. Too many of my constituents need it. Like, you need to find it somewhere else. You can't take it from there. You know what I mean? Like, it's the rubber has to eventually hit the road here. You're asking people to literally sign off on something saying, I'm going to directly hurt my constituents. And the constituents know about it because we've been running our mouth about what they've been trying to pull off. So instead of the people being just completely clueless to the whole thing, they're like, hey, they are trying to cut our shit. And then it was like, yeah, Elon's doing it. It's like, yeah, get rid of Elon. So Elon's been gone because that assuaged the crowd. So Elon's disappeared. And now they're trying to sneak through this bill, this big, beautiful bill. And all of this garbage is in it. And it's an easy thing for the media to cover.
But the people who are stopping it are the ones who think it doesn't go far enough. They want more cuts to Medicaid and Medicare. They want to fuck their own people over even more. They're the ones who are siding with the minority Democrats to stop this going forward at the moment. They're like, it's not horrible enough. I mean, what is wrong with these people? They're just like the absolute worst. Oh, my Lord. Oh, sorry. Anyway.
I genuinely do not understand how there are not riots in the street at the moment, because it is just so blatantly, we want tax cuts for Elon Musk, who's starving children across the world at the moment with his cuts, and in America, the richest man in the world. And the budget is just there to give tax cuts to the billionaires. That's effectively all it says, you know.
Yeah.
And why I don't understand why people are not. I mean, there are people up in arms about it. There are, you know, even Ben.
Yeah, I was about to say I kind of disagree. I kind of disagree with the premise. Like, you guys keep saying that no one's doing anything. It's no one has an effective means of pulling off what you're wanting them to do. Like, if you want people to storm into buildings and start burning things, that is counterproductive to what's going to happen, because any sort of force against Trump's things, you know what I'm saying, will be seen as, and now I can trigger the Insurrection Act, and now, you know what I mean? So it is delicate. You can't just punch a hole through everything in January 6 things, because he's waiting for somebody to try to January 6 him, so he can just pull in all the military to every single city and shut the whole. That's exactly what he wants. So people can't do what you guys keep wanting them to do, because then worse things will happen.
Can we wake Scott up? Scott, wake up!
Hello,
Hey,
Scott.
got him. Woo-hoo. How you doing, mate?
No, you're right, Mikey. I do understand that.
Dark
I was
44,
watching Bernie Sanders
£2 super chat.
Stephen
Priest
Colbert
Russell,
last
Judas
night,
Priest
and
is not dead.
like he absolutely
No, it's not.
was
Hair metal.
on the nail as usual with what needs to be done. But it just feels like it's going to be a long slog. It feels like what we had to do with austerity and Cameron's Tories, effectively, is like slog away at them until they lose an election. That's the way it's going to be.
That's the stream safe way of talking about it. You know what I mean? But all of these like uprisings that people.
I'm not going to encourage you to get the.
I'm not participating in anything. White people did this. White people can fix it. I'm done with black and brown and LGBTQ and everybody else marching to the front of the line and having to like eat all the pepper spray and the rubber bullets and all that. No.
That's not fair. I've seen the banners that people hold up at his rallies saying "Blacks for Trump." Wait,
Yeah, but
sorry.
All three of those paid people. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I'm not
Mikey,
marching up front to be chewed up by the machine guns. No, they can go first.
that's fair enough, Mikey. And I feel like the white people would go out and protest against this fascistic government if that same government had allowed them to have, I don't know, some kind of weapons in order to fight against a fascistic government. So if anyone tried to take away their guns, they could say, "You can't take away my guns because the government might turn evil one day and I'll have to fight back." Well, now that day's here, and the sad thing is, no one in America's got any guns. So sorry, it's just the way it is.
Can I just go back to the fact that Ben from Ben and Jerry's was arrested yesterday for protesting at a Senate hearing?
Yes.
And I just need to add this because I have been thinking about it this afternoon and couldn't be bothered to draw it. But a new Ben and Jerry's flavor should be freeze peach.
Ah, very good. I like it.
Moment.
I like it because it's like frozen.
Freeze peach. Because it's like frozen.
Oh, I like peach. So
but it also
free speech. Oh, free speech.
It's like a play on words that really failed.
I see.
No, it didn't fail at all.
I got it.
I got it too.
It's been a long week. I'm sorry, Mike. So,
oh god.
And in the chat, saying, I found my old tablet when I was digging out the BT equipment. It gave up the ghost about 6 years ago. Needless to say, it went in the bag too.
I think Annie's having a conversation about her Wi-Fi connection, her broadband connection.
So I have a super chat from Dark 4x4, 2 English pounds. Ooh. Quiz question: Judas Priest is not death metal. A.
No, it's not.
Where is it from? B. What is it a reference to? C. What's the title? D. Who's the original author? So this is a reference and a quiz all at the same time.
What, there's a book or something called Judas Priest is not death metal?
Is it a line from a movie? But they also add no more super chats for Graham if he doesn't know. So I think you're supposed to know this.
It's so vague and weird.
I'll read it again. I'll read it.
Big Lebowski. It sounds like something from a Coen Brothers movie.
I'll read it again. Judas Priest is not death metal. No. A. Where's it from? B. What's it a reference to? C. What's the title? D. Who is the original author?
Right, I'm gonna say it's got to be Wayne's World or Shaun of the Dead or the one I said first.
Wayne's World.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm taking away.
Billy guesses H.P. Lovecraft. That's very close, Billy. I think
Priest is not. High Fidelity with John Cusack and Jack Black, based on the book by Nick Hornby. Is it High Fidelity?
Dark 4x4 will let us know.
Mike's just shaking his head. He's just like, no.
I mean, I was out of this quiz in my general knowledge terms when we got to Judas Priest. So
they're a band.
I was literally about to say where they're from.
I have nothing to contribute to the answer here.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would have guessed.
It's the Simpsons. It's the Simpsons. It's the
chalkboard.
Chalkboard gag from the Simpsons.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So the author's Bart.
I did look that up. I'm going to admit I didn't know.
The author is Matt Groening.
Gray.
But he's right.
It's Groening.
That is correct. It is a factual statement.
It is not death metal.
Judas Priest are not a death metal band.
Are Metallica death metal?
No.
No, they are not.
No. Is the Eagles of death metal death metal?
Nope.
No, they're the furthest thing from death metal. Which is I guess the irony of it all. Yeah.
Excellent.
Having seen them in concert, I think
some in the chat got it. Although Simon M suggested Airheads.
I was going to suggest Deathgasm, but that is a far more obscure...
That's a different video.
What? Chris C wants to know what he's missing about Ben and Jerry's. So it was freeze peach because it could be peach flavored, but it also works a bit like free speech. So it sounds similar.
And the thing is, Chris, this is the important thing. Ice cream is often frozen. So, like the word freeze, which sounds like free.
Oh, the ice. I get it.
Do you see? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You
And
add
anyway,
ice.
that's why the dog crossed the road, and I'll go and get my coat.
It's the
See
simplest
myself
thing,
out.
like, I don't get it. I don't get how people don't get it.
See myself out.
So, Mikey, are you getting any stories from over this side of the pond of any of the madness that's been going on here, or is it all drowned out by Trump? It's like everything else drowned out, like a really loud, obnoxious noise. Does it just drown out the sound of bird song, children playing, anything, not horrible?
Graham, you're not even in our bubble. Like, you guys could be on fire and we wouldn't know about it. Like, I know that you guys exist.
We're your best
but
trading partner. We did a huge
We had
trade
a
deal. with you
special
the other day.
relationship. I thought we were special.
no, like, I know about you guys, so you're important. You guys are important to me. But
Oh, thank you.
outside of like the podcasters, no one has ever paid attention to the UK
Our
and their
Prime
politics.
Minister was on a terrible conference.
They
call
do not
tonight
even know
with
his
your
name. I
president.
could go to the downtown right now and hold up a sign saying, "I will give you $20 if you can tell me who the UK Prime Minister is without using your phone." And I would stand there with that $20 in my pocket all fucking day because none of them know. Actually, maybe someone who's an immigrant
He's
might
not
know.
wrong. He's
They have
not
no
wrong.
idea.
Pay attention.
I
Yeah,
reckon
actually,
50%,
actually,
50% of the people you asked, Mikey, wouldn't be able to name the president either. But
I was
Yeah,
about to say,
right.
I'm about to say, who's the president of the UK, and then I would get people's answers. You know what I'm saying? And they'd probably make up some
Yeah.
ridiculous shit
If you
like
said the Prime
fucking.
Minister, they'd probably be confused. They don't know
Right.
what that
If
means.
I said president, they might give me an answer. But Prime Minister, like, I don't even
be
know what that
fair,
is.
To be fair, if we went around the streets of Britain and asked them who the president of France was, half of them wouldn't know.
No.
they'd
That's
probably say Napoleon.
kind of work.
Churchill.
You ask Gen Z
Harambe.
who the Prime Minister is, they don't know.
The prime minister of this country.
Yeah.
Oh no, Scott, you're younger than me. You can't be saying things like that.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm
You
older
can't
than
be saying,
and
"Oh, kids
secondly-
these days, they don't even know who the fucking prime
No,
minister is."
the
You
kids-
have
the
to wipe
kids-
their own
some of
asses.
these
You have
kids
to do
are
it for them.
clueless.
Oh, kids these days, no manners, no
You
respect.
can say whatever. You can say what you want.
I got
At
you,
the
Ollie.
end of the
Also, have you
day-
noticed, Scott? I don't know if you've noticed, but policemen are looking a lot younger these days.
They're getting younger every day.
I mean, what I'm trying to say.
And
is
also,
that-
I was trying to watch Eurovision last night, and
I don't watch
it's
it.
got a little bit gay. I think it shocked me. I was quite surprised.
Is that a Brighton?
Shocked
Really?
Is that a
We
Brighton
shocked
council?
by that. It's
It was
the
marvelous.
gayest program.
Dark 4x4 says it was written on the chalkboard by Bart Simpson, referencing Judas Priest's performance in a previous episode where they performed a version of Breaking the Law.
Mm.
There's a great cover by a band called the Pansy Division called "Breaking the Sodomy Law."
It's a long title.
Excuse me?
Yes, there's a. Have you never heard of the Pansy Division?
The what?
The Pansy Division are a gay punk rock band.
Is it like
Oh.
Joy Division and the Pansies?
No, they don't.
This is,
sound-
Supergroup.
this is very much like Freeze Peach, isn't it? This is a play on
Mhm.
words.
It's not a play on words. Literally,
Pansy
they did a
Panzer.
cover.
Yes, the Panzer
It's
tanks.
Breaking the Law, but they called it Breaking the Sodomy Law. And they even got Rob Halford to sing it with them live a few times because Rob Halford is gay.
What?
Please don't tell me you're shocked by that.
I'm still shocked about Cliff.
I don't even know who that is. And I'm shocked.
You don't know who Cliff Richard is?
No.
He
Oh, no,
was,
they don't.
he's the
Americans do not know who
Elvis.
Cliff Richard is.
He was the
They don't-
Elvis of the UK.
I hate
I
Elvis.
think he.
I'll tell you now, Americans do not know who Cliff Richard is. They don't have a fucking clue.
Not the foggiest.
They don't know who
You've
Elvis
never
is.
seen-
They
You've
know
missed
who
out
Elvis is.
on the classic British pop movie Summer Holiday.
Yeah, Elvis,
No,
that guy who
they-
sings
they
black
don't
people
have that
songs.
No.
Next thing you'll tell us, you don't even know who Melvin Hayes is, and you've never watched a
don't.
Carry On movie.
They've never watched a Carry On film.
Nope.
These are things that I did not know about until I moved here.
Carry on, my
Oh,
wayward son.
This would be good. Okay, what was the most shocking thing about the way we do things in the UK as opposed to the US that you discovered when you got here, Scott?
Nudity on television.
What? Nudity.
You
That's
discovered
illegal.
Eurotrash.
Blew my mind.
That is
After
illegal
11
here.
o'clock, there was literal full frontal male nudity. I couldn't believe
Yep.
it.
Awesome.
Couldn't believe it. I woke my mother up. And said, there's a naked man on the TV. Why is there a naked man on the TV?
I appear to have landed in heaven.
Well, now, I mean...
What is this magical place you've brought me to?
I can see all the peen I want. No.
Free peen on the telly.
I mean, obviously, the what the hell is he
But then
doing?
all the porn
what
that's
is
ever
that
been made is
S&M,
American.
Contraption in the background.
Hello, Ollie. How you doing, mate?
Good.
Ollie, put that away.
It's what he puts
You're on
Dobby
the
the
wrong-
house elf before they play their games.
That's what we're playing with later, Ollie. That's not now.
Totally
What?
the wrong show, Ollie.
I'm going to play disc golf tomorrow.
Where's your ball gag?
Literally.
Bring out the game. Sorry, Ollie. I was trying to talk and also open Windows and try and get like the link over to you, but it looks like Mikey got it over to you.
Yeah.
Mike, you're like Mikey. You're like a fucking ninja. You're like a link ninja. So thanks very much for that. So
My
we were
Google
asking,
Fu is very strong.
Scott the most shocking thing about the UK, and he says the male nudity on the TV.
It was nudity in general. When I saw tits, that was shocking. You know,
Europeans are weird.
When did you come here, Scott?
1993.
So you would had Euro trash and everything, chamomile
yeah.
lawn.
Oh yeah, that Lola bird with the
Yeah.
the big things. Yeah.
Lola
Crazy.
Ferrari. God,
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah,
I was
because in
absolutely
America,
shocked.
like network TV, you can't even swear, can you? You can't
No,
say shit.
you cannot. You get in so much trouble if you swear on network.
If you say
television in
shit
America.
on network
Yeah.
telly.
You can't say it.
This is Brett in the chat brings up a good point. You seen is it a congressman that's trying to introduce a bill to ban pornography, which is straight
Yeah.
out of Project 2025.
Yeah, but the
to
problem
completely
here,
ban it.
there's a problem with that. What's pornography?
Mm.
So, to a fundamentalist Christian, what is their version of pornography?
Everything.
Pornography.
Sesame Street.
Two gay kissing, two gay guys kissing. That's pornographic. It could be anybody kissing on screen at all ever. That's pornographic. Yeah.
What in
Yeah.
Saudi
And as I-
Arabia or in America?
It is a sinister way
Same
to
thing.
bring a very puritanical law into
Yeah.
place.
And it's in Project 2025, but the way the law is written, because they use ChatGPT to write everything these congressmen nowadays, it essentially there's an argument legally that it would also cover you sending a dick pic to a friend, like consensually,
Yeah.
or sending nude pictures of yourself to your girlfriend or whatever, basically.
Mhm.
So essentially, if it
But
passed, which it won't,
Just like the
It's,
war on drugs, I think making these things more illegal will really help. That'll really
Yeah,
help
exactly.
your problem because Americans are comically sober. We never drink to excess. We never do drugs. We never do it. So just more laws on it. That'll really tamp down the
Exactly, yeah.
porn, which is $1 billion industry.
America is the biggest consumer of porn in the world.
And the biggest creator. Of
We
porn
make
as
a
well.
lot of porn too. Thank you very much.
But
Represent.
one of my favorite gags from Family Guy was a cutaway gag where the policeman, breaks down the door of a hotel, and there's a woman and a man, and the woman's just said, oh, I'll take some money off you, and I will have sex with you. And he goes, here's some money so we can have sex. And the police officer breaks down the door, comes in, and he's got his gun, and he goes, I'm arresting both of you for prostitution. And then she says, oh no, officer, I'm an actress, and this is a porno. And the camera pulls back, and there's a camera in the corner of the room. And he goes, oh, you're an actress. Okay, no crime here. And he tiptoes out. Like, that's it. That's just the maddest fucking thing.
You can't become a prostitute, but you can get paid to have sex on film.
Yes. So you just film it, and then you're not breaking any laws.
You're not breaking a law.
Yeah, it's like when you're drinking and you put it in a paper bag in America, you're not really drinking because it could be anything. You could have Coca-Cola in there, no problem. No harm,
Yeah.
no foul. I used to
is
have
that
like
where
a...
the paper bag trope comes from?
The paper bag trope is because they cannot have an open container on the streets in America.
In public, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So if you draw a drunk in a cartoon, you normally put a brown paper
paper
bag
bag,
over the
because
bottle.
in America,
I didn't realize that's
you
where it
cannot-
come from.
You
Well,
carry
and-
an open container of beer.
and it is
that blew my mind too.
and it's old like blue laws like that, like prohibition laws that are still on the books for the
Ollie's playing frisbee down there. Sorry, I got
Frisbee
distracted.
with the S&M kit.
Sorry,
Like,
Mikey. Go on.
that stores need to put, if you don't have it going into like a whole sack of groceries or something like that, if it's just a bottle, then it needs to be in a bag so they're not just walking out carrying bottles of liquor.
Yeah, yeah.
So Ollie's actually demonstrating, and I weirdly do know this because I have a friend that plays this. It's frisbee golf.
Yes, it is frisbee golf.
Yeah.
We were just
Disc
joking. It wasn't
golf.
really a sex thing involving a house elf.
They don't like
Well,
it when
that
you
would've
call
been
them
quite fun.
frisbees. They're discs. Disc golf.
Disc golf. Yeah.
disc golf.
And frisbee, the name frisbee instantly comes from the pie tins that they used to use in the 1950s to throw,
Oh,
which were
really?
frisbee pies.
Dark
Oh, wow.
4x4 asks, why is Ollie playing disc golf?
'Cause he's on the
Nature,
wrong
Nobody,
channel.
nobody
Na-
knows.
nature, and
Nobody knows.
theologians alike argue that question every day, but
Yeah.
he just
Why
does.
Ollie do what Ollie does?
Ollie just is. No one knows why
Yes,
Ollie
he
is.
exists.
He just
We are
is.
happy with
It,
this.
it's disc golf, not
I
frisbee.
still have the headset on.
Shouts,
Uh,
what
No,
Andy
we know
Payton.
you can hear us. We
Uh,
know we can
I've
Yeah,
hear
we knew.
us.
I've
We're
managed
aware.
to get one angry
This
pagan
is why we're
to
saying
become a
this shit.
trumper.
Is Ollie Santa Claus?
Maybe. Who wants to know?
Figures.
He
Who's
lives in a
asking?
cold place. He's got a white beard. Anyway, Mike, sorry, I interrupted.
No, I seem to have turned one angry pagan into a gammon. There, he's gone all
He's
caps.
getting it fucking disc golf, you
They're
bastard.
definitely frisbees, and Devon's horrible. And
No,
you definitely put
frisbees-
the jam on.
Devon's horrible. Hey,
That's horrible. Is that where he's from or something?
no,
I'm
yes,
just
he
trying to-
is. And,
Just to
and
see how
Mike's
far
trying
I
to
can
start a
wind him up.
fight.
You want to wind up the biggest contributor to this show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
We've got
Well
a super
done, Mike.
chat from one angry pagan. Now I'm about to
Mike
read
is
out.
the
Now
new
you-
Wade at this point.
Mike,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
now
he's
he's-
trying to demonetize you.
You know,
Well,
Just
Wayne's
saying.
demonetizing me on YouTube, and Mike's making sure no one gives a bloody super chat by slagging people off.
Right.
None of
I
that
don't
abuse
know.
over here on the
There's
bin.
enemies
None
with
of that
friends
abuse.
Say
this.
anyone
Who needs
anywhere.
enemies?
Can we
wait,
just
till,
get?
wait till we open up the conversation about whether it's cream and jam, and whether actually Cornwall invented scones with cream and jam.
The scones, not scones, you malformed bastard.
They're definitely skins.
That's
So-
fucking scones.
So one of the biggest differences between a disc and a frisbee, because you asked, you would never want to catch a disc. They are heavy and they are weighted, and they will tear your hands to asunder. You don't want to play catch with
Really?
those. Yeah, they're like different weights, and they flip after like certain distances and stuff like. It's just like golf clubs. So like they have putters, they have
He
drivers.
has 100 frisbees there. Look, they're all different colors and shapes.
Did you not
They're
hear
not
anything
frisbees,
I've
Scott.
said?
They're
Did you not
not
hear a
frisbees.
word I've
Can
said?
I do one
blue
angry
one is-
pagan
Whoa,
super
that,
chat,
that
please?
blue thing is a fucking frisbee if I've ever seen one. That is
The
not
blue one is
That's-
Read one
Right.
angry pagan
Right.
super
Blue
chat.
one
Okay,
is-
I've
It
just
is the last
muted
one you're ever
everyone
gonna get.
but me. So hi to one
Oh,
angry
the
pagan.
orange
Thank
one's
you
a
so
disc.
much for the £5 super chat. Hot take by dismissing Vayner as potential PM for being too divisive. Aren't we doing exactly what we're accusing Starmer of? Capitulating to bigots. Perhaps one angry pagan. I didn't say that. Phil said that. Take it up with Phil. Thank you very much for the super chat. And I'll turn everyone else's mics
Phil
on now.
thinks that
They were
Angela Rayner
literally
would be too divisive
literally
as a
talking
prime
over
minister.
each other a lot. I'm just going to bring their sound back on, right, so you can hear them now.
Anyway.
But before we do go on, I want to answer something that Alex Morgan asked this morning in the chat. He was asking about Romanian citizenship. I've had a look into it. First of all, yes, you can get dual citizenship. You can get dual. It's cream first. You can get Romanian citizenship and British citizenship, dual citizenship. The other thing is, I had to look on what Labour are trying to do, where they're going to make it. You got to wait 10 years to get your residency here, your citizenship here. Sorry, and yes, it is going to be retroactive. So if you've been waiting 4 years
4
and
years.
11 months to become a British citizen, you're going to have to wait another 5 years. That I
That's
think is
some
absolutely
bullshit.
disgraceful. I really hope it doesn't go through. There's going to be a bit of a backbench rebellion. I'm pretty sure of it. And Dark 4x4, finally, before I let everyone else speak, why is the bin ahead of you given I'm in the UK? Asks Dark 4x4, because we
Speed of
run
light.
an accessible service here on Politics Social. So we have subtitles. So we have a 30-second delay while Google tries to work out what the fuck I'm saying.
Exactly, which is why it's scones. And I have to.
It's
the only reason I'm
scones.
here is to pronounce things properly for the subtitles.
Scone.
It's just putting S apostrophe gone.
It's just
Scone.
Have you
And it's
noticed when you watch
cream first? Do you know what I
when
do,
you watch
Mike? Do you know what I do, Mike? I
if
get
you
my
mute
scone
me again,
and I
am
cut
prepared,
it.
by the way.
I cut it in half, right? I cut my scone in half, and then I got the two halves like that. And one of them, I put jam first, and then I put cream, and then the other one, I put the cream first, and then the jam. And I show everyone and just make them all mad.
You're like a centrist dad.
I have never thought this hard about
which one do you put
jam
peanut
and
butter on?
cream fucking scones. Like
Scones?
I put, whatever.
It's a
I put
That's
I put the
scones.
fucking I
Which
put
one do
the
you put
jam
peanut
and the
butter on?
cream on one side each, and I put it together and I eat it.
Ali, you have a message.
That's
I
what
have a
we would
message.
expect
Yeah.
of an American immigrant.
Dark-
Well, this is, you know what? I have got time to play around with my food and work out what fucking way I need to put this bullshit on this fucking pastry. I don't care. Will it taste good together?
This is the
Yes.
problem.
Let's
This
get
is-
it together.
this is
and let's
why
eat
the
it.
world
It's all
is
kicking
going
off in the
to
chat.
hell in a
It's all
handcart.
kicking off in the chat. Jam first, says Richie got in capitals. Reverend Kathy, jam first, big capitals.
Fuck. You people care about nothing. I'm like, what's going on?
Jam first. And then,
This-
Of all the things of the world that's
Scott
happening
is
right
saying,
now.
nah, cream, winky face.
This is entirely. This is the
This
divisive
is why
subject.
Britain
We-
is in the state that it's in.
Yeah, we should
This
have.
is the shit that Brits argue about.
Y'all literally fell for the
kind of
left
thing.
Twix.
Yeah.
Y'all
We
fell
should
for the
have a
left Twix
referendum
right.
on.
Y'all fell for the left Twix right Twix fight. Like,
No,
Just
no.
eat them.
They argue over the fact that what should a Snickers be called, a Snickers or a marathon?
It's a marathon.
Yo, here we go.
It's
Okay.
a marathon. Much
Uh,
better
Be
name.
called a marathon back in the
Snickers
80s.
sounds like knickers.
And you don't like Snickers?
I'm just gonna go ahead and steer you guys away from there because your accents are very thick. Dark 4x4 says, Ali, we call them pigeons. Use a 12 bore. Oh, he's treating them like clay
jeez.
pigeons, mate. Your
Okay,
discs
yeah,
are
yeah,
gone.
okay.
What,
is that the same sort of
scones?
thing? No, that's frisbees, bro.
No.
We
Oh,
have
It is.
pigeon
like this.
pie. That's completely different.
Yeah.
Have we invented a whole new sport where you toss a scone in the air and shoot it with a 12 ball?
Oh, that'd be great.
Outrageous.
Yep.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Mike is completely unimpressed.
It's all going to be part of my campaign for
He
the
does
upcoming
not give a shit
referendum
about
on
our scones,
sconage.
guys.
No.
Well, Shane in the chat.
don't eat breakfast,
full on
actually.
caps. I remember when Freddos were 10p. Well, exactly.
Yes.
right. Like 80p now. 80p.
I mean,
Jesus
how
Christ.
awful.
Do you put cream on first on your Freddo or the Nutella?
Ooh. Oh, blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Ugh.
Mate. If there's ever another British Civil War, I want it to be about scones. I want
And
it
also
will
to.
be
down
at
here,
this fucking
down
rate.
here we call
It
them
will be.
Fritos. We
And
call
then
them
it
Fritos.
ends, and the jam people, the jam first people win, and the northern jam first leader meets with the southern jam first leader. He says, "Oh, thank God we've won the war with the scones," and the southerners like, "No, it's scones," and that starts a whole new war. Yes,
The sword and the scone. Perfect.
Roxy Rule says it's Snickers. Get with the times, guys. No, marathon is still a better name
Oh.
for a chocolate bar,
Come here.
even though it probably wouldn't help you in a marathon because it's made of chocolate. I don't know.
I don't know why they haven't bothered to put like marathon in brackets underneath it just to please everybody. That would be
Just call it
fine.
marathon.
Well,
It's a much better name.
they release them as marathons, don't they? They
But
say
it's not as bad as Orange Phones changing the name to fucking EE. What was that about? They spent all that
That's
money,
true.
all that money on the future's bright, the future's orange. Orange Wednesdays at the cinema. Everybody knew orange. It was a thing. That it was like there everywhere you went. Orange, orange. And then one day they went, no, let's change it to E.
That was a marketing stroke of genius. Just to bring the Americans back into the conversation, haven't they just done something like this with HBO? Warner's have messed about with the streaming service and
Like
renamed it
HBO
5
Max
times.
or something. And
It's
then
now HBO Max again. Yeah,
Well, it's
they renamed it as Max. So the only good TV brand they'd actually got was HBO, and they messed about with that for about 6 years. And now they've gone back to HBO Max, and it's full of all the Discovery slop TV that they've been producing for years. So.
Pop quiz question. HBO, the ident at the beginning of HBO shows. What show was it off?
What?
It was off an HBO show.
What, the static
The
thing? with the
static
logo?
at the beginning.
Is it
Oh,
the
the
one, the
that
horror
wasn't
one
the
about the
original.
screen?
That wasn't the original, by the way.
No,
That
it was
is
a 1990s comedy show, I want to say.
Howard the
Was
Duck.
it the Tracy Ullman show?
No.
No. Oh.
It was Howard the Duck.
Is it
I
Judas
have
Priest?
I have the
Judas
maddest
Priest.
feeling. This might be something that I just dreamt and
Death
it never actually
metal.
happened. I think it was Dream On. Does anyone remember Dream On? Used
I
to watch
do
the
remember
TV
that.
back in the
Actually.
1950s and stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
that the ident from HBO at the beginning of the shows with the static screen and the music, I think that's from Dream On. I might be wrong.
So you're just
Very
making up
good.
things and then
I might
calling
be
it a
making
quiz.
stuff up.
That's not a quiz, Graham. You know that,
Might
right?
be for something else.
Who told you how to make a quiz?
Really different. It would-
Dark 4x4 had a quiz. This is not a quiz.
Just make up
HBO used to
questions
come
that
in.
only you know the answer. 'cause it's-
And then you
I've
don't
just
even
made
remember
up.
if
I've
like-
just made up the answer.
he doesn't even know if we're wrong. Like
I have no idea. I was hoping that you could help me with it. 'Cause I'm thinking,
Well, here's the
I
thing.
think that's a weird way of asking if anyone remembers something. Pop quiz. I don't remember this. Tell me if it's wrong.
yes, it might be. I was hoping someone in
Good
the
luck with that.
Look
in
at the tree says dream
chat
on.
would know.
Look at the tree says
So I
dream
just
on.
watched it. I just watched the ident on YouTube, and it's not. It does. It has static, but it is just in the words of the logo, not the background to the picture.
Aha.
I can't show you it, but it is.
That's not the original one, though.
Ooh,
Yeah,
was one
that's
before.
what happens.
what?
Oh, that
That's
might
an
be.
80s
I don't know.
version.
This is
It's an
a.
80s
this
version.
is-
It's very different.
yeah,
And
no,
I'm-
that static one started up in the 90s, I think.
Yeah,
It is.
I'm unfamiliar with it.
Trivia.
Hey, they're bringing back.
this
they're bringing back
logo.
King of the
this
Hill
is on,
as well.
This is on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Here we go.
It does say the logo was based on the opening credits from Dream On. Boom! Believe it or not.
I think you've
Not-
probably right.
Believe it or not,
Remember when
I'm
Jonathan
walking on air.
remember when Jonathan Frakes was hosting that show, Ripley's Believe It or Not, and he was so accusatory in how he read the thing. Like I always felt like attacked. Every time it was like,
Yeah.
and this person survived underwater for 20 minutes. Believe it or not. I'm like, damn, it's fine. I believe you. Shit, damn. Why are you mad? Why are you so angry? Ever since you got dropped off of the fucking Enterprise, you've been a real dick.
This is my favorite copy of Ripley's Believe It or Not from 2015.
Who's
Scott,
Ripley?
You're absolutely right.
Are you
I've just
in it?
watched. I've just
He's
watched
in it.
season 1, episode
He's
1.
fucking
and
in it.
it is absolutely from Dream On. Basically.
Why would
He's
I
in
be in
There's-
Ripley's Believe It or Not?
Look at
There's
the
a
trees.
Ripley's
Guy
Believe
went
It
to
or
every
Not
single
museum
country
here in
without
our
flying.
in our
Sorry,
our
was that-
tourist strip.
Sorry, was that the clue? Q
What?
Yeah.
available from Amazon.
It was from Dream On. Anyway, do I win a fiver? Do a fiver to put in at Loser Fox's fucking
I'm really
phone.
surprised
Look
you don't have a bookmark to the exact page that you're.
It's creased. It's all dog-eared right there.
Yeah, like you got a crease in the corner.
Look at the trees.
Or
Look at the
it's
trees.
page 58. Here's me.
It's the pages. It's the pages that are stuck together,
There
Graham.
we go.
That's the-
2-page spread of me.
Yeah,
They're all pictures of me in Ripley's
Yeah.
Believe It or Not.
yeah.
How cool is that?
Look at the
Show-
trees.
Show
Is...
the grandchildren,
Yeah.
which I'm never gonna have.
Hold on there, Mike. Look at the trees over here saying the original static was with a projector starting. So that was like part of the aesthetic of that effect. Cool.
Ah, cool.
Yeah,
Why
I just
would
watched
the projector have
episode.
static?
I watched series 1, episode 1, and it's a kid sitting in front of the telly, staring at
Yes.
the telly, and then it fades to the static, and the logo appears, and then the
Yeah.
camera pans into the room.
Is it Idaho? And
Very good,
Indiana?
Graham. Good knowledge. You
Thank
you
you.
weren't making it up.
There you go.
Thank you. And I'm in Ripley's Believe It or Not, so there's a good little tie in there.
That's true.
I,
I,
think,
didn't know that.
Somehow.
Billy in the
No,
chat.
I'm also in the Guinness Book of Records. Should
Billy
go
in,
with that as well.
Billy in the
no.
chat
You
asks,
put
is
I'm surprised the certificate's not behind you.
is it Billy in the chat asks, is it Idaho and
No, it's
Indiana
not.
that looks similar when you reverse one?
Wyoming's just a square, isn't it?
It might be Illinois and Indiana. They're pretty similar.
don't know where my certificate is.
Mississippi and
Yeah,
Alabama. Yeah, they definitely look
Did
like
I
they're
read the-
reversed.
Did I read it wrong in the chat? This is quiz night and bondage frisbee throwing. Yeah.
Bondage frisbee.
Sure.
No,
Bonded
it's
frisbee.
house elf bondage. It's a little thing
I
that
thought we
you
were-
keep in your
I
house
thought
elf.
we were supposed to be talking about Lawrence.
Let me out.
Lawrence
Would-
Fox and his 5-pound.
Does a ball gag count as a bit of clothing? So if you give that to your house elf, does it go, aha, Dobby is free, and then runs away?
Not the safe word. Get back in the chains.
Yeah.
If it was that easy, motherfucker, this dungeon would be empty. But it isn't, is it? Is it?
Dobby has been gifted a
Answer me.
He is free.
Look up
Dobby
and
has been
answer
gifted a
me.
jock strap. He is free.
That Dobby has been gifted Master's Use condom.
Masters use condom. Dobby is free.
It's free.
Dobby is free.
Stretches it above his head. Twangs it.
Wears it like a hat.
Well, you know I'm gonna spoil it for you guys, yeah? Dobby's dead.
Dobby is dead.
Dobby
Died in the last movie.
Shit.
Why?
Yeah, Dobby's dead.
Why did they kill
Dead is
Dobby?
dead.
Dead Dobby. So is
Break
Hedwig.
the news gently to us.
Hedwig
Dumbledore.
died
Dobby's
too?
dead.
It's serious. It's a fucking bloodbath, that last book.
They killed
Why
him.
did Hedwig have to
Last couple
die?
books, yeah.
You didn't kill the
It
one
It
that I
was a
wanted to die,
loss
though.
of innocence.
Does
But
J.K.
he
Rowling
wanted
turn
his
out to be a
childhood.
lovely human being after all the books are finished? And
No, she turns
has
out to be a
benefit
horrible
of a-
bog troll who spends
Oh.
the rest of her miserable days sitting there,
In
hunched
a moldy
outside
castle.
the women's toilets, going, "You can't come in. You don't look feminine enough."
So did you guys watch Hellboy 2? Where they went to the troll
Yes,
market?
Golden Army.
When they went to the troll market?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
It's
a long time
it
ago.
wasn't as
So
good as that.
so here, this might jog the memory. They've got the canary in the cage, and there's like a street walking woman, and she's got a card. She's like, "Hello, dearies," and she's doing all that kind of stuff. And they got the weird goggles. I was like, "I see you for what you are," and she's like, "Ah, get that horrible creature." That is J.K. Rowling. She's that troll thing that's terrified of canaries. People should just drag canaries around her to see if she just starts freaking out.
Well, Anne Phillips is saying, why did they kill Dobby? Because he was feckin' annoying. Is why. Next in line, Jar Jar Binks. Well, funny
Hey,
you should say
leave
that,
Jar Jar
because
alone.
eagle-eyed Star Wars nerds like myself, who watched the last few episodes of Andor, noticed that in the background of Luthen's emporium of exotica from around the galaxy, it included the skull of a Gungan. So Jar Jar Binks' skull is a little Easter egg in Andor for you. If you're watching it on a big screen and you freeze frame it, you can see Jar Jar Binks' skull.
Why
So
would
there
they
you go. He's
preserve
definitely-
his skull?
Jar Jar, though.
Yeah, how you know
Is
it's
it-
Jar Jar?
Because there's only one Gungan in it. He was in.
Wow,
He was in
they're all the
Coruscant.
same,
He
Ollie.
He was in
Racist
Coruscant,
Gungan.
and so was the Emporium,
They're all the same, Ollie.
a mysterious
Yeah,
artifact from around the
wow.
galaxy.
They're all the same.
I bet he calls them Sand people still.
No, there were no
Yeah.
other Gungans. It was just him. I saw him when he went out on his little pod and went, "Misto." He was the only Gungan. Everyone else
Wow.
there
And he
was-
did the
was from
voice,
the
too.
Emporium.
You're saying he was the
Wow.
only Gungan on Coruscant.
You went there.
If you
You
look,
did the
He did.
voice.
if you look at
He
the,
did the
did do
voice.
the
if you look at the
voice.
council scene, if you look at the council scene, there's actually a pod of Gungans when he's there talking. So
See?
there's a bunch
Oh,
of
okay.
See?
So-
They're all the same to him.
Well,
You seen
there's
one,
of
you
them.
seen them all, Ollie.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jeff True saying Jar Jar was a Sith. Yeah,
He might have
absolutely.
been,
potentially that in one of the realities he was definitely.
for sure.
Chris C saying I always thought Professor Umbridge is a mirror of J.K. Rowling. No, Professor Umbridge is too nice. Like J.K. Rowling, one day she looked at herself in the mirror and went, "Oh my god!" And then from then on, she just
Everyone
hated
thinks I'm a
trans
nice person, and I'm
people.
not.
Just didn't like what she saw in the mirror. It's very sad.
Fastest cake in
what
the world,
about-
the scone.
Big Boss Naz, aka Brian Blessed. No,
Harry Potter and- Harry Potter.
his score would be too big. And Anne Phillips
Harry
has
Potter
dropped
and the War of the
£5 in the
Stones.
super chat fund. Thank you very much, Anne Phillips.
The sorcerer's scone.
You
Sorcerer's
definitely
Stone.
right. I'm just going to turn their sound off. Right, Anne Phillips, thanks very much. You definitely deserve this more than loser lozer. Yes, thank you so much. And he's got his pad up to say jam first, which is wrong.
So
all know it's
bitterly
wrong.
divided
We,
over breakfast.
We'll see. It's wrong.
Have we now genuinely raised more money than Loza has
Yes,
raised?
we have. We've
There you
raised
go.
£12
Harry
tonight.
Potter and the Prisoner of Scone.
Doing all right.
Which
Ask
court
a stone.
case are you going to use it for, Graham?
For all of them. Oh my God, there's just so
Harry
many.
Potter and the Deathly Scones.
I've done about 5,000 hours of live streaming. I've said some terrible things about awful people, and they're all very rich. So, you know,
The scone of fire had me on the tip of my seat.
yes. Indeed. But there we go. Next time I turn the sound off, I've got the...
Harry Potter
Yeah.
and the Half Jam Scone.
Oh, look,
And the half jam. And then that was followed by the half cream scone.
The Half Jam, Half Cream Scone.
We should make a big gay Harry Potter
Scone?
series.
As
of
in
Harry
gone.
Oh,
Potter.
many fan fiction writers
Stone.
have done just
No,
that.
but actually do it like live. You know, that would really piss her off. Have an
Well,
all
who are you
trans
gonna
cast.
be? Weasley.
Let's have an all trans Harry Potter. I think it'd be fucking brilliant.
I think
She would
someone's
just-
written that already as
She
well.
would cry herself to death. They'd be like, "Oh, we need to go into the women's toilets to get into the Chamber of Secrets," and like, "Oh no, we're not allowed to go in the women's toilets," and then they all
It's
die.
funny. 'cause they're,
Transmogrify.
Hermione goes into the men's toilets in the Chamber of Secrets.
Yes.
Well, wasn't Harry talking to like Moaning Myrtle?
And I would think Professor McGonagall was in there as well.
Wasn't
What?
Harry talking to like Moaning Myrtle?
Yeah.
That wasn't in the boys' bathroom, was it?
But
Oh, no, that was
genuinely-
it was in the boy prefects.
yeah, and she comes out the bath while he's having a bath, and she's looking at him.
and looks at his people.
Wow, and
Yeah,
she
she's
wrote
like-
that,
she's like-
and she wrote that
She's like
down.
80 years old or something.
She wrote that down with her adult hands on a fucking
Yeah.
cocktail napkin. She's like, I want to give this to children. This ghost,
someone-
this ghost pervert who's just staring at kids.
Well, what the fuck is the point of the fucking the pictures that move? They're fucking useless. Like someone's running at Peter Pettigrew's running around the school, and then that little shit with the fucking hair he's running around the school making the fucking magic vanishing case out of the what's it called, the Prestige, turn up so you can get all his
Captures
mates
the
in.
souls of the person. So
And
it's the
they're
person
like,
that
oh, we
passes
can't find
on,
this
they
person
stay
in
there.
Hogwarts. There's fucking pictures looking at everyone. That's the fucking pictures.
It's entirely so that Dawn French could have a cameo in one of the movies.
Literally
That's why
that.
they did it.
They cut out Rick Mail out of the original. He filmed scenes for them and they cut him out. He was Peeves the
Really?
Poltergeist. I'll never forgive him. That's how you knew that J.K. Rowling was a wrong one.
Why?
This is
She-
really
she
why
made-
you don't
she
like
made
J.K.
that,
Rowling,
That
isn't
was
it?
John Cleese in the end.
It all
wasn't
started there. No, he played nearly Headless Nick.
Ah, nearly.
Nearly.
Headless Nick, yeah.
I
True
actually
story.
researched this. Anne Phillips has just brought it up. I did ask my son, who's a big Harry Potter, was a big Harry Potter fan, or is a big Harry Potter fan, not a J.K. Rowling fan.
That's
but
that's the category I'm in.
there are no instances of Polyjuice Potion changing somebody's gender, just their identity. So Polyjuice Potion is something you can change the way you look, but there are no examples of somebody changing gender using that juice in the book.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, because it doesn't change.
Hang
your
on,
voice,
what?
it
Yes,
just
there
changes
is.
your appearance.
Go on
No,
then,
it doesn't
because I
change
did
your
ask.
voice.
Oh, there's
Yeah, I did
loads. I
ask.
mean, okay, the scene in the beginning of the last couple of movies, the Deathly Hallows Part 1, they all take Polyjuice potion so they can look like Harry.
Yeah,
And one of the
they all
people who
take
takes
pol-
that
yeah.
potion is Hermione.
As a girl,
Yes.
but she
In
still
the,
sounds
in the,
like
All I
in the
can
seventh
say-
book, there is an example of them doing that.
All I
It-
can
it-
say is
it-
that I
it
now
still
have to
sounds like
fire
yourself.
my son and write him out of my will because
Yeah, you do.
he was
He's
supposed
done.
to be my
Really?
Harry Potter expert. I
He's
asked
done.
him,
Yeah.
he
He's
said
outta here.
no, there.
He's out of
You
here.
need to do that and give all your money to a trans charity.
This is why I made 2 boys, so I've got a spare. basically.
Okay, good.
One is bound to let you down.
Yeah.
There and a spare. Yeah, she's but J.K. Rowling, you know, in her old age, she's turned into a hateful, spiteful bog troll, and
She
I
definitely-
hate her. Oh, I just hate her.
So
No,
what
why she has to be
what's
so
going on with
horrible?
this Lawrence Fox thing? Because I'm curious. I don't really know a lot about it. I try not to.
So he told people to attack ULEZ cameras. Mikey, do you know what ULEZ cameras are?
Yeah.
See you soon, bro. Coming to
Of course
a
I do.
city in America
ULEZ is a
soon.
porn site where you get to watch lesbian videos.
And
No,
the
it-
councils have to maintain the cameras. for
Okay.
this
It's the
porn site.
ultra low emission zone.
Ollie's gonna look it
And,
up.
and it used to just be within the
man.
North Circular and South
No,
Circular of
man.
London, but now it goes all the way to the M25, which encircles the whole of London, the road to hell, as Chris Rea once sang. And some residents aren't happy about it. But the thing is, you only have to pay the fine of like £12 a day if you're driving a vehicle, a petrol vehicle, that's over 20 years old. So it's like if you got an old banger that's just pumping out loads of noxious gas out the back of it, then you have to pay money, or you can trade it in, and they have schemes to get a new car. Or
90% of Londoners do not have.
And you think that's happening
vehicle.
and you think that's happening coming
It's gonna
soon?
happen in America.
Okay.
Oh no. What I'm saying is, so
The
this guy-
same America where they just gutted the EPA. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
No, but
No,
New York is introducing a congestion zone.
That's already
It
been
is,
there.
It is, but
That's
this
the
got nothing
first
to do with
step,
Lawrence
bro.
Fox. So, Mikey, there's this nepo baby who went to a very posh private school here in the UK called Harrow, and he's a complete gobshite, and his wife doesn't want anything to do with him. His kids don't want anything to do with him. He spends lonely Father's Day on his own, burning pride flags in the backyard. And he told his followers, who are all a bunch of fucking brain dead morons, to go and attack the cameras that register your number plate, your license plate on your car, to see if it's acceptable to drive down the road without paying this tax. And he's now in jail. No, he's not in jail. He's in court because that's a criminal thing to do, because you're inciting people to commit a criminal act.
Mm-hmm.
And he's tried to raise £10,000, and he started his fund, and he's raised £5.
Huh. Okay, he's doing well.
Here I found J.K. Rowling.
Oh, I thought it was a giant nostril behind you at first. Okay, it's a troll. I got you. All right. I
Keep the
literally
camera.
thought it was a giant nostril behind you.
Is that from Doctor Who?
I can see that.
I'm not
No,
afraid
that's
of the
a
yellow
troll
beast.
Has anyone watched the last episode of the new season of Black Mirror yet? The USS Callista
No.
into
that is.
Infinity. It's
Nope.
fucking brilliant. All right, that's all I want to say about that.
Black
it was just
Mirror?
so much fun. Black Mirror, a TV show on
UK
Netflix.
TV show.
Yeah, but it's on.
It might
It's
not
got,
have it
it's got a
yet.
lot of Americans in it. It had the guy from Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and it's had the guy, the woman from the thing. That's the
You do
daughter
know
of-
they travel to work sometimes, right?
What?
American actors, they
and
will
What?
travel to work. Yeah.
They let them out of America.
No.
Don't let them back in again, though. Hey,
No,
hey,
they
the
won't.
boss.
They'll be
Bruce
100%
Springsteen's not getting
tariff.
back into America. Have you seen this?
Nope.
Have you seen Trump's?
Oh, Bruce Springsteen is. Yeah, Trump is upset.
He's not getting back to America, according to Trump.
He's not going to get back in.
He's
gonna-
written all this
gonna
stuff
exile
about try saying that in America, mate. Yeah, come over here and fucking say it.
Do you think he will literally try to exile Bruce
Yes.
Springsteen?
Of course he will. He's the guy who wrote in
Wow.
all caps, "I hate Taylor Swift," and got away with
I
it.
would be.
I thought that was you, Graham.
No, I love Taylor Swift.
I thought you said you were
Take
saying
that
you were
back.
saying in the group chat that you really couldn't stand her,
Yeah.
and
He
you
said
just
it
like
ever since
really
Donald-
hate
ever
her.
The
since Donald
Swifties.
Trump.
The Swifties will come for him.
know the power of the Swifties.
Oh, I do,
Ever
which
since
is why I'm
No
putting
one
you
fuck-
directly
no
in
one
their
fuck
path.
with the Swifties.
He also said he
is
hated
amazing.
Beyonce, which I thought was wild. I can't believe Graham would say this stuff in the group chat.
She's beautiful and amazing and talented and awesome.
This is a
You
wonderful
said,
little.
you
video
said
skit
worse
of
than
her.
J.K. Rowling.
Can we change
Yeah.
the subject, please? Come on.
Yeah, I'm fucking hell. I
Feel the
can't
death
keep talking
threats.
about
Come
her.
on. This
Yeah.
isn't good for me. So yeah, he wrote this thing about Bruce Springsteen saying he's going to kick his ass.
Yeah,
Who said they was going to kick
I
his
don't
ass?
think he said that. He
Called him a
he-
dried out
it-
prune of a rocket.
It was very convoluted and insane. I have the statement here actually 'cause someone sent it to me. I see highly overrated Bruce Springsteen goes to a foreign country to speak badly about the president of the United States. Never liked him. Never liked his music or his radical left politics. And more importantly, he's not a talented guy. Just pushy, obnoxious jerk who vehemently supported crooked Joe Biden, a mentally incompetent fool, and who at
Look who's
worst
talking.
ever president who came close to destroying our country. If I wasn't elected, it would have gone by now. Sleepy Joe. He literally started talking about Springsteen and then he's on.
he loves Joe Biden. He misses him so
He
much.
loves Joe
yeah.
Biden
He-
so
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
He misses his
had
best
so
friend.
much
That's not
stuff
yet.
left to say to him.
Yeah,
Sleepy Joe Biden didn't have a clue as to what he was doing, but Springsteen is dumb as a rock and couldn't see
He can't
what
spell
was
rock.
going on. Or could he? Which is even worse. This dried old prune of a rocker. The audacity. his skin is all
No way. No way.
Skin.
No way
talking
he's
about
talking
his
about.
skin.
No
He
way.
said
Oh
his
my
skin's all
God.
atrophied. Ought to keep his mouth shut until he gets back to the country. That's just standard fare. Then we'll see how it goes for him.
You know what? I just realized something. Because Trump has this obsession with Biden, right? Like he loves
It's
Biden. That is like his best friend. Like he loves all the fighting that they
So
had, and then they had
insane.
like their debate, and like they were supposed to be like these rivals forever. And Joe Biden is aging horribly, and I think he's getting scared. He's getting scared that he is right behind Joe in age, and it's scaring him. So he keeps like, oh yeah, he's all crazy and demented, and you know he can't stay awake. Oh, who just fell asleep?
Yeah.
Who just
Multiple
fell?
times.
I'm
Yeah,
just
he
saying.
fell asleep in the Middle
Influence
East,
the
didn't he?
cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
cameras.
he's I think this is a little projection because
Sleepy
little
Trump.
baby bear is scared of the outside world, and
Everything about Trump is projection.
yeah, he is
Sleeping diaper
terrified
Donnie.
of he's terrified of his own cognition slipping, which is why
Well,
he just
his-
keeps
his
going after Biden.
Incontinence has been a rumor of for many years now.
Just
So he
saying.
might not be. He might be competent, but he's not continent. Diaper
Chris
Donnie.
C says, breaking news, US Supreme Court has blocked Trump from restarting deportations using the 1789 law, which sounds good to me. Alistair Kerm
don't know
says,
if it's
Graham, I am in danger now. I'm in danger. I
I'm
get the
in
impression
danger.
I was supposed to say that in my Ralph Wiggum voice.
It has to
Um,
be said, in regards to the
Thanks,
Supreme
Alison.
Court, they seem to be, even though he filled it up with his judges, they're gatekeeping him. They're they're trying, I think, to rein him in a little bit, and like they literally had a lawyer go in there like the other day and argue that is okay for the administration to ignore circuit court judges.
Yes.
And they had Amy Colmer Barra, whatever her fucking name is. She was just sitting there going, "Really? Is that what you guys think?" Like,
Yeah.
you know, and that she was a Trump sycophant. She was a, you know. So I do wonder
They might go
when
for it
when
though.
we talked
Scott,
about
you know.
before, Graham, when you've talked
Yeah.
about how the Supreme Court will do Trump's bidding, it's turning out that's not really
Well,
happening.
The problem with that is Trump's just taking the wrong. The Supreme Court will back him on everything else except taking away their own power, and that's
Except
what
the
he's
law,
trying to do.
yeah,
He's trying to
exactly.
take away their own power, and that's why they're
Yeah.
objecting to that. But anything else, they're going to support him on.
But
That's
I think you're right. I think they're finally.
supported him. They
I think they've
blocked
woken. Yeah, I think they've woken up to the idea that
You're
they're
saying
under
they're
threat
woke?
as well. Yeah, they're
It's the
woke.
Supreme Court woke. No, but with this case that's going through at the moment, where they're trying to get the make it so that the administration can ignore lower judges, circuit judges.
Yeah.
Like if that goes through, if the Supreme Court says, yeah, that's fine, and you have to bring class action lawsuits against the executive if they do something mad, and you can't just go to a court, and also that court cannot decide to stop a executive action for the whole of the country in any part of the country. It means that when Trump isn't with us anymore, and there is a Democrat president in place, that Democrat president can take your guns off you, and nothing can stop that from happening. Because there'll be some civil cases, but they take years to go through. In the meantime,
Who's gonna pick him up?
Barack Obama Mark II has got all your guns, mate.
Who's gonna pick him up?
The gun police.
The good guys with guns.
Gun
They're good
police.
guys.
The gun police. Who's
It's
gonna?
a way of thinking, isn't it?
Who- Hey man.
And then the Americans just are gonna go, here you go, take all. my
Oh, the
weapons."
law changed. Let me just hand it over, I
Let me just
guess.
hand it all over to
The
you.
problem
right.
is, Graham, that
but
they're
if
going to send
it's-
police in there with pistols, going up
if it
against
hand
guys
them
that are gonna
over
have
or
fucking
die.
50
Have AR-15s.
What? No,
Shotguns.
They're going to
they're
shoot each other, Graham. You know for a fact they're
Yeah,
going to start
they're
shooting
going to have
each other.
No.
like
Oh, why would the police
M50s or
have to
whatever.
go-
They're going to have
No,
so
you-
many different machines.
gonna have
You
guns
send a
that are
letter.
already
You put a
rocket
letter through the
launchers.
door. Here's how you
Literal
do
rocket
it.
launchers.
You say, letter through the door. Give us your guns.
Okay.
After
Or
this
what?
date, there will be a drone strike on your house.
So you're gonna kill them.
And then you walk off. That's it. Give us your
They
guns
have
or drone
radar
strike.
on
So-
their houses, some of these people are
so-
crazy.
This
What?
is,
That's
this
it.
So-
is definitely going to work.
What do you
So-
want?
so
What's
Graham's
more important,
plan
guns or
here
your
is-
house?
So Graham's plan here is,
Yes.
if you
Put it
don't
on the
hand
door.
over
Yeah.
that pistol,
Yes.
your triplets will be drone struck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Graham.
Yeah.
And remind me how Trump is bad.
This is what America does to every other country in the world.
you-
Let's
Well, another
see-
problem
to its own
with
medicine.
that, Graham, is if you do that, then you've basically just depopulated the entire United States because
Yes.
everyone has
Yes.
a pistol and
Problem
none of
solved.
them are going to turn
Yeah.
them over.
Great.
So-
I already
Big
turned mine
problem
in
with
yesterday.
America, apart from our friendly Americans here, is Americans. America would be a lovely place if it wasn't for the Americans.
Just the casual racism. Also, fuck you, Graham. You gotta watch your goddamn slander. I don't talk shit about you guys, even though you have many short.
You literally do.
Tell us you
Even
know
though you have,
do
I
our
don't
guns
general.
Wait.
I don't
Hold on.
generalize in the same way that you generalize and just shit
You
talk
literally do.
Americans. I would say you
literally
got.
laughed
Is
at
it racism
Graham
or
just now for
nationalism,
having the audacity of thinking that someone could just come collect their guns.
I laughed at the audacity. I didn't just sit there and say, you know, British people are kind of insert insult. Like, you need to chill, brother. I don't want to have to stand up for MAGA, but god damn it, Graham, we're gonna get some ground rules down here.
I'm sorry for being
Jesus
facetious.
Not all
Christ.
Americans.
calling for drone strikes against Americans.
Actually,
You know, just so casual about the shit.
Fuck all these drones, you know, they got to sell by date, got to use by date.
I got a kid here,
What?
you fucking monster. Jesus.
Well, stop swearing in front of the kid, Mikey.
The kid doesn't speak
Some
English,
respect.
but she does speak drone strike. Jesus.
Did you see
Speak, but
Trump in
suffer from.
Did you see Trump in Saudi Arabia talking about drones?
We will come
Let's
back
take
to
it-
that in one moment. But first, Kieran Crotson, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. The Supreme Court are playing a long conservative game. All their geese are cooked. So there you go. The goose.
Yeah, I
The
think
goose
that's
is
true.
loose about the goose. Okay, sorry. Yes, drone strikes.
No, he was in Saudi talking about.
He started
a room full
scatting,
of-
didn't he? What does he call
But
it?
he
The
fell as-
weave.
yeah,
He
well,
started the
the
weave.
weave. When he fell asleep and he was in a room full of arms dealers doing billion-dollar arms deals, and he fell asleep during that, and then he sort of woke up and he started talking about drones, and he said, "You can be hiding behind a tree, and a drone just comes out and it circles the tree and it just shoots you and it chops the tree down, kills the tree's chopped down, you're dead as well, completely dead tree." And he
The
said, "That's
tree.
lumberjacks." It's like lumberjacks, you know, that just chop into like Duffy, like Sean Duffy, our transport secretary. And you go, where the fuck are you going with this, you madman?
He doesn't know. He doesn't
nothing to
know.
That's what he does. The weave is basically him blabbling because he's got nothing
It
of
is.
substance to say.
Yeah.
That's all
Yo,
that is about.
they're going to have to reckon, because there will be a day after this era where they're going to have to reckon with how obviously insane he sounds, and that they sat there and said, like,
And laugh.
he's not going to be here forever. And you guys, you know, this is all recorded, right? Like we have all this shit on tape. So
Yeah, but
Kinda like,
you know their
with,
plan is to
W-
never relinquish
George
power.
W. Bush.
they're not really going to have a choice, Ali.
Talking about
They're not going to have a
stealth.
choice.
He wants to redesign stealth
If you have
bombers
another election.
because they're not stealthy enough. Because he can see them when they're sitting down on the tarmac. He can see them, and he thinks that means they're not stealthy enough. Because he's like, "But I can see it. It's there."
I just saw that
documentary
the documentary with Wonder Woman, and her. Now that was stealth. Now she had a stealth jet. Where do we get those? He's yo.
Do you know what the irony of ironies would be if he took that fucking jet from the Qataris and something went horribly wrong?
Well,
Because he's got rid of all the air traffic controllers.
Easy. Some of us live here.
Oh, the irony! Oh, the irony!
I mean, that is the worry. That's literally the worry. Why
Is
would
it a
you
worry,
give
though,
the president
or
of the
a hope?
United States a plane, and then you could take him out? Like that's the
cartoon.
problem.
There was a cartoon among the newspapers of an obvious Qatari controlling it with a little radio control.
Yeah.
But it's not only that,
we're in
is
the
it?
middle
Like
of
the
the
story.
Pacific now,
What,
that goes down, turn it off.
It's a flying microphone, is what it is.
Shane has joined us. Thank you, Shane. You are awesome. That is really, really cool of you. Shane has now joined Lone Star. So welcome. You are awesome. Yeah.
You are
We have
awesome.
another- And if anyone else
Allegedly.
wants to join, if anyone want to join the channel, just hit the join button. There it is on the Canadian Olsen there. Anyway, sorry, where were we? Yeah, Trump.
you know,
Don't
one of the
talk
things about
it.
the
Don't talk about
one of
it.
the things about the
It is
plane
entertaining.
story that gets me is he sat there doing an interview with Sean Hannity in Air Force One, saying, "This is a 40-year-old plane. It's a nice plane, but it's not great. It's not the best plane." And you land anywhere in the Middle East, and you park next to the great planes. of all
Their
the great
planes
kings.
are
Well, except
bigger
we-
than mine.
Yeah, and
That's
we look
basically
stupid.
it.
So why wouldn't I take this free Palace of the Air? But
My
then
wings
you
are
look at the
little.
detail, and Qatar have given him a 7-year-old Boeing 747, right? You know what? The King of Qatar is going to replace that with a brand new Palace in the
The
air
King of
that
Qatar
will be
already
better.
has replaced it.
Yeah.
He has
Exactly.
given Trump the spare.
Exactly.
Because they
So
couldn't
it-
sell it. They
It's
couldn't
And
the
what
sell
Trump
used
it,
one.
doesn't
but no
seem
one wanted
to
buy
what Trump
it.
doesn't seem to get is just how pathetic it makes America look internationally. It's
This
just like
is a hand-me-down.
yeah,
this
you're
I
jealous
wonder
of the
how-
planes,
I
and
ju-
you're happy to have a second-hand plane from an Arab sheik, basically.
Yeah,
It's
secondhand
kind
Arab party plane. I wonder just how dirty.
Oh
those
God,
things are.
dude, who would want?
Nasty.
Oh God.
I hope
There are
they
two
shampoo the
bedrooms.
carpet
Oh
you
man,
need to
you
use
ain't
some
shampooing that
chocolate
out.
and the
On
curtains
those toilet seats.
And the chandeliers, shampoo the chandeliers.
and the ceilings.
Yeah,
Go in there with a
Let's-
black
no,
light.
let's
Deep clean the
just get
ceilings,
it.
lads.
no black lights
I
allowed.
understand.
Yeah, get the black
I
lights out.
understand. The Qataris tried to sell it, and no one would buy it.
Because of the stains, Scott. The stains.
God,
There's
it
so
smelled like
many
linden
stains.
trees. It smelled like motherfucking linden trees.
It costs too much to maintain. This is why they're trying to get rid of it, because they bought a new one. They don't want to maintain two planes. They want to maintain one. So they're trying to get rid of it, but they couldn't. They couldn't sell it. So let's just give it to the Americans because they're dumb and they'll take it.
Yeah,
of the other thing that
Scott,
the other thing that
stop
struck
being
me though-
racist.
It's
How
his.
come
It's
Scott
his
can say
word.
that about Americans?
Generalising.
I can't.
He was born here.
How dare you
Okay.
generalize?
He was born here.
general
I went to
generalizer.
school there. I know they're dumb because I am.
This-
Oh,
This
no,
plane
look
is-
at that.
He's had to
this
suffer
plane's
us.
7 years old. You said, Mike, right? So Air Force One currently is 35 years old, right?
Nothing. A respectable
it's-
age.
Like Tay Tay.
It's a flying fortress that can survive
Tay-Tay.
nuclear fucking blasts.
Just
Yeah.
like Tay Tay.
Just like Tay-Tay.
Like, what are you talking about? You want this to be your? It's not. It shouldn't even be allowed to be. It'd take $1 billion worth of work to renovate. it.
Christopher Golding says the
That is-
plane is in Texas now.
The new
Yeah, but
one.
it's all blingy. It's all gold and tacky inside. It's like 80s style gold tat.
Oh, that's like
That's why he
Alley.
wants it.
Yeah,
Peckham
that's why-
exactly
spring
what it's
water.
talking about.
It's
of
like, it's
fucking
perfect.
Jets.
What a perfect inside of a plane.
The Trump hotel is all gold.
It's like his.
He is-
the-
He is
apartment
tacky
he had back in the
Midas,
90s.
isn't he? Everything
Oh,
he
he is-
touches turns into plastic gold, basically.
He is new money tacky.
Oh, he's so tacky.
For someone who comes from money, he's new money tacky.
No, but his dad didn't, did he? So
He came from
Dad was
weird
an
money,
immigrant.
didn't he?
Yeah. But
yeah.
like that's tacky money. It's not classy money. It's
Yeah.
tacky money. Yeah. I'm gonna have gold seats everywhere on my toilet.
Also, are you saying Tay Tay is like 38 years old?
No,
and a
she's
bit tacky?
35 years old. She's nuclear proof, and she can fly at 40,000 feet.
Yeah, and just because
But also-
35
but
years
also a
old
bit
doesn't mean it's
tacky.
She
35
has
years old.
anti-missile defenses.
And tacky.
Right.
And from
That's
the
how
Qatars.
awesome she is.
Tay-Tay's tacky.
No, she's
it is
not
probably
tacky,
the
she
best
is
defensive
classy.
aircraft in the world.
Every era has been an era of immense class.
He's saying she runs on jet
I-
fuel, is what he's saying.
She does
I
run on
think
jet
you're-
fuel. because she is.
I think your strategy
Tay-Tay.
of going against Tay-Tay is not going to work for this channel.
I'm
Greg.
not going to go against it. I'm
You're
definitely
gonna-
not going to go
you're gonna
against
learn to
Alistair,
like
who's
her.
dropped a super chat in the chat. Thank you very much to Alistair, who says, the plane will call it Tiny Mushroom One.
Brilliant.
Nice. And yeah, he
I'm
had
not
a
getting
little
in that thing.
trailer. He had a little trailer.
I thought
Kate's
it was-
reminded me of this. A little trailer that followed him around Saudi Arabia.
That's
with
exactly
burgers
what I
in it,
think
with
it looks like.
McDonald's burgers in it because he needed his McDonald's burgers.
But that's exactly
Did-
what I
did
think
you-
his penis looks like.
I would like to know where that plane will be
McDonald's
flying so
burger.
I can be underneath it.
Yep.
I don't know
Oh,
why
God, yeah.
anyone would get into anyone else's gifted plane. Like, and
That's
then
the
the
whole
and,
point. That's what everyone's saying.
and
Why
the
do you
thing
think
is,
it could
he
have anything on it.
and the thing is, last time he was in, he bitched about Air Force One. So guess what they did? They started working on a brand new Air Force One, and now this bitch takes this fucking plane. Can you imagine working on the first one and you got the wrench and you're just, all right, guys, just a couple of more. Motherfuck! No! You have a plane. He has a plane. Just be patient. And
But
how about
if-
this?
let's
How about
see.
here? How about this? Stop flying to fucking Florida every weekend,
But
and
let's just say he
and then
flies
maybe
to
you won't wear
Florida
it out.
And the thing blows up in the fucking air, right? Are the Americans really going to be surprised? Are people literally going to go, "Well, we didn't see that coming"?
No, but I don't think they're going to booby trap it. But I think with the way that air
half of them?
traffic control is in America, it might smack into something else midair, and that would be the ultimate irony that he goes down in a
What, he
plane crash
9/11s
in a
himself?
plane that's given to him by the Qataris, like because of the cuts that he has made to the FAA.
But the
That would be quite
Qataris
funny.
But-
released the onboard recording
Objectively.
of Trump screaming while he's sitting on the toilet as the plane goes down.
Yeah.
Nobody
Where's
questions
my
how they
burger?
got that videotape.
Where's my
It's-
burger?
Where's my McDonald's burger? I'm shitting out one now. I need a new one to replace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting on the toilet, eating a burger in a cape, dead, just like Elvis.
Just like Elvis.
Okay.
Just like Elvis. It's the way I'd want to
Just
go.
like Mama Cass.
Yeah, yeah.
She was eating a sandwich.
PJ says I want Air Force 1000, not one, bigger number in it. True. And Shane K, £2 super chat, says born in the USA brackets but denied entry. Yeah, there's something else
Sounds
that's
like a
going
Bruce
before the
Springsteen.
Supreme Court, which is about birthright citizenship. The 14th Amendment, is it?
Yeah.
Americans? Is it the 14th? Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, but that's a Bruce
they-
Springsteen
They
reference.
didn't
That's one of the
mean it
songs.
though when they said that anyone was born here. That they didn't mean it. It's a bit like the whole thing about freedom and rights
Persons.
and due process. They didn't really mean it. Just
The definition of persons as well that the Supreme Court's going through at the moment. Supreme
Well,
Court
if-
clearly
if
saying
Trump's
it just
plane-
means anybody. It would have said citizens if it meant American citizens, but it
Some
says
constitutions-
all persons have the right of law.
Some constitutions actually say citizens and specify whether citizens, but ours says person because it meant person.
Anybody,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
well, it's a new country.
If,
People were
if,
arriving every day.
if Donald Trump's plane did blow up in the sky, right?
Scott, I'm streaming,
gonna
dude.
stop
So can
talking
you
about
stop saying
Yeah.
stuff like that?
You're obsessing about this.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you guys would laugh. Like, would you find it?
No,
Well,
I would be
no.
shocked
Yeah.
and horrified.
Don't
No,
get us
because it
flagged
would
by
be-
the fucking AI with Cash fucking Pineapple in charge of the FBI. Like,
No,
easy, brother.
To be honest with you, Scott, I would not be. I mean, there'd be innocent people like Elon Musk and Sean Hannity on there, and maybe Laura Loomer, and
Yeah,
it's
that'd be
not.
sad.
Yeah,
I mean, then
Oh.
the guy who does all the jigsaw traps in the Saw films would have to make a new doll.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
No, Laura
Marjorie Taylor
Loomer.
Greene might be on there.
She was on the plane.
They both look like Jigsaw.
I'm sorry, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is the worst human. Like,
She
Hitler
wants to
was
run for
bad.
Senate, if I'm
Trump
not
is
mistaken,
bad.
right?
She's not gonna win.
There's
Genghis
worse.
Khan, pretty bad. But Marjorie
Tay-Tay.
Taylor Greene, oh my.
She's a
Hey,
moron.
Genghis
stop it.
Khan.
Stop it.
Tay-Tay.
Stop that.
Tay-Tay.
No,
Marjorie
stop that.
Taylor
Oh,
Greene.
stop that. Stop it. No, honestly, she is just the absolute worst.
She is a
Did you see
horrible
that
human.
Someone was
isn't
counting
she?
up how many times she banged the gavel. in the
Oh,
movie.
it was
yeah.
so
No,
funny.
No.
Yeah.
On Unbox Politics. For everybody over on
It was
Politics,
the
so
most Karen thing in the world, wasn't it?
for everybody on Politics Social side, over on the Bin Podcast Network, last night we had Unbox Politics where we do like political videos and then we give them like A through F ratings.
No.
Dude, I wish I did have the timer because we watched that yesterday, Graham. She must have hit that gavel about 645,000 times.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, you're not recognized. You're not recognized. And then like her own person like tried to back her up. She started gaveling his ass too. I was like, damn, that's your own person.
Yeah.
That's your friendly fire, man. You gaveling everybody.
She is something.
No
else.
one's safe.
Super Tiny
amazing.
says MTG is hot like Kemi.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Whereas Paul says MTG is female Chucky.
But she's like,
Bride of Chucky.
she's a good example of what's going to happen
gathering.
with the reform councillors that have all just been elected when they turn up for council meetings and
They don't
sessions.
turn up though, do they?
It's important.
Well, there hasn't been a council meeting in Durham yet.
Work is involved.
I think the first council meeting here in Durham is next week, and it's open to the public, so I will
Oh,
be
brilliant.
attending.
Your deputy
People-
council
There's
leader,
There's going to be a new
Darren
show.
Grimes.
There's going to be a new show here on the channel called Reform Watch Durham, and I will be
boy.
telling you every little fucking bet, fart, and whistle what those motherfuckers do in this fucking county. And I've
Excellent.
got a lot of people who are helping me out with it. A lot of people
Can
who
you-
lost their positions as councillors, in fact,
Can you
to help
film
me out with it.
inside or not? You can't film
The
inside,
council
okay.
film it themselves. I don't
Are
even
they
have to
streaming it?
film it. Yeah,
Yeah, they
you
have
can
to,
see
yeah.
it on the YouTube page. I've been doing all my research and checking out how I can trip them up and make them fuck themselves over. So, for instance,
Uh-huh.
if there's a council meeting and you get, you're friendly with a councillor, make sure that they know the rules, but the person that they're up against don't know the rules, because if the VFUC announce who their chairman's going to be of the debate, the speaker, sorry, of the debate, that will be someone who doesn't know what they're doing, because it'll be someone who's just newly elected, and they won't know that if they break the rules by allowing their people on their team to break the rules, then anything that the council decide in that particular meeting is invalid. Ha! So don't tell them. Shh, don't tell.
Well, you
Yeah,
did
don't
just give
broadcast it,
away.
whatever you do.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't watch this.
The other thing that people need to know right now is that if you want to build wind turbines or solar panels on your farm, fucking put the application in right now, because even though your refuck councillors will say no to it, because Richard Tice has already put an email out saying that they will say no, they will have decided what they're going to do ahead of time, which is against the law in this country. And so when it goes to court for appeal, the appeal will win. So if you want to build stuff on your farm, now's the time to put in your application, because you'll definitely get it, which is kind of cool. But there you go. We've got loads of penguins in the chat and lots of badgers as well. Badger. But yeah, I'm going to be doing Reform Watch Durham, also known as Crafty Wank and the Refuckers.
That's going to get monetized pretty quickly.
And now a special number from our favorite house band. It's Crafty Wank and the Refuckers. I call them motherfuckers.
A few
Alistair.
of them have quit though, haven't they? Like, this week.
Oh yeah, because they realised they had to do work.
They realized they had to do actual work. Yeah,
They were
had to
paper
actually show up
candidates.
for these things.
But
some of
Crafty
them
Wank's
were-
mum is a counsellor here now, so I'm going to ask a question. You got to submit it in advance, and it's going to be
Wait, who
Crafty
are you
Wank, and I'll
referring
say-
to when you call them Crafty Wank?
Darren Grimes.
Darren Grimes.
Is Darren Grimes a councillor in your
Yes,
borough?
he is
Yeah,
the
he's
deputy,
leader.
leader of Durham County Council.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're planning to sell off the Gala Theatre. They're planning to sell off our leisure centres. They're planning to sell off any bit of publicly owned stuff out of Durham. They're going to sell it to their fucking mates for a bargain,
100.
and they're going to make a load of money out of it. But the good news is, for the daft fuckers who live around here who voted for refuck, is that multi-millionaires, not just millionaires, multi-millionaires will be able to get an account with Coots Bank. Yes! Thank fuck for that!
Is there a branch in Durham High Street? Oh,
No,
No,
mate,
probably
this
not.
is quite
I
an
think there's one, and
impoverished
it's in
area.
London.
Billy says, I live in County Durham. F them.
Yeah, that's the plan. Alistair, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Can you dual stream it for us to watch? Says Alistair. I'll see what happens. Well, I'm going to work it out if I can stream from the council chamber. But I think most of it's going to be pretty boring. But if there's any juicy stuff that comes up, I'll get my.
Yeah,
I'll get my.
It will be very boring, very formal.
better to film it for clips, I think. Council
Yes.
meetings are
Right.
not the most
Yeah.
engaging thing to watch.
Exactly.
How dare you.
They'll fuck up and then they'll fuck up and then they'll fuck up some more. So what I want to ask is I'm going to ask Darren Grimes if his mum knows why he's called Crafty Wank. This is
Good
the
idea.
mess. That's the question I'm going to put forward.
Either way, it's bad.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That
you
mum's going to
Phil.
be in the room.
Either way,
Well,
it's like,
Phil.
no, I didn't know that was his nickname, or it's yes, I do know that that's his nickname,
And I
it
know
makes
why.
and it makes sense.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine how disappointed Grimes is that he didn't get elected leader? It was a three-way race. One of them was an ex-Conservative councillor.
Yeah.
Then you've got Darren Grimes, and then you've got a failed businessman apparently. He's
Failed
had three
businessman?
collapsed businesses.
Couldn't
And
organise
the
a bit of
businessman
brewing?
wins it. The guy that's got some council experience doesn't get a role at all, and Darren Grimes is now deputy leader.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's just. I think it's going
I
to
mean,
end up like Grok. Have you seen what's happening on?
councils? When they fuck up all these councils, everyone will understand. They won't get voted in at the general election.
Well, that's
because
exactly what we're hoping, Scott. This could
Yeah.
be.
This is going to break them. This is
Yeah.
gonna, you
This
know,
could be the
this-
silver lining of the cloud that is
Yeah.
refuck.
They're
The
all
toxic,
fucking
toxic
useless.
cloud.
They're all going to try to do American tactics, right?
Yep.
Sorry, guys, but this is they're going to try
Racist.
this sort of doji
Accurate.
stuff.
Oh,
And,
so Scott's accurate, is he?
Yeah,
I was saying
they're
both.
Try that American style, like small government bullshit here. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
It's not
Because
working
it's
over
still
here.
Relying on the government.
I hate to be the cynic, but I think you might be wrong. I think
Do you think
I
people
think
are
if they
gonna
play,
vote
if
and
they
be happy
there's
with
a way they can play this that will work. So and I know I harp on
it? They're
about
not
this a lot,
smart.
but we had a Green council down here for 8 years. They screwed up in a number of ways, and we still keep electing Green MPs. So it doesn't actually play out in a general election based on because most people don't know what their council does, and it's only going to be if we start sharing loads of links of idiot councillors
But
that the
this is-
story's going to get
I
out
think
there
this
at
is
all.
where that's where the content's going to be, though.
Yeah, you might be
Ooh.
right, but my feeling is that if
This
they
is where
play
this
it
stuff will
right,
go
here's the
viral.
way I'd play it: is I would constantly say that the blob is against me. They don't want me to do this. The executive
Well,
who
that's what
gets
they're gonna
paid
do
more
anyway,
than the
yeah.
prime minister refuses to let me do this, and they'll unearth a bunch of things about councils that are wrong, that are genuinely crap. Basically, the chief exec of Durham County Council, I imagine, or Durham Council, is paid in excess of 150,000 pounds.
Oh my god!
Speaking
That's
of
more than the
pounds,
Prime Minister.
Speaking of pounds, speaking of pounds, Dark 4x4 comes in with a £2 super chat. Think you better stop, children. What's that sound?
Okay, so then
Everybody knows what's
knows
going
what's
on.
going down, and but what I was just about to say, I really argued with people about this in my local sort of council like Facebook group because they were going, this person earns this person earns this person earns this. I'm like, do you understand that these people are earning half of what they would earn? in the private sector?
No, listen, don't get me wrong. I
And people
understand
don't
the argument,
understand
but
that. They don't get it.
But the problem is, like in the States at the moment, people don't really get math, and they think
No.
if it's more money than they're earning, then it's unfair.
Then
That's
it's
the way
bad.
people look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they vote for millionaires and trillionaires. I don't
Yeah,
fucking
which is
get it.
ridiculous.
Yeah, no, and all I'm saying is the hypocrisy just doesn't work. It doesn't work in the States at the moment as well. Trump is openly accepting billion-dollar.
MHK, the line is, Madam Secretary, I have a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 10-year-old. I have a bullshit detector. Absolutely. She's getting lit up right now in hearings, I think.
in Ukraine, and it's the same thing. And people just go, and they accept it. It plays out as they're all bad, and that's what it's going to be. And if they do their PR right, and I'm not suggesting that they should, but I think they'll come out of it saying it's impossible to run councils when when there's a Labour government. That's all they have to say. And people are going to go, yeah, we need to get Farage into Parliament to make the changes that we need. Basically, that's
Which is why I think when they make fuck ups, we've got to really, really amplify their fuck
Yes,
ups.
and I
to say
think they
just
will
don't
be,
know what
because
they're doing.
again, this
Anything
will
that
be
makes them look
viral
incompetent.
content.
Yeah, it has to be good. It has to go viral.
Showing how stupid they are will become viral content. Ollie, what cocaine are you
Maybe.
doing right now on that table? Like, what's going on?
I'm not doing cocaine. I'm getting ready to bust up some weed. I'm
Okay.
just going. I emptied it.
no cigar.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm
not
not
just say
committed
that's legal in
is very legal here,
Canada. Obviously,
It
it's
is
illegal.
I'm not.
legal.
here.
Yeah.
I'm not
Legal thing to
committing
do.
murder. It's manslaughter. Can't you see?
Yeah.
It's obvious.
No,
No, but
I finished
cocaine is
emptying
still
this out and there was a bunch of
illegal
stuff
in
at the bottom. I was
Canada.
just getting-
Well, cocaine's
But
legal
weed,
everywhere.
weed is legal. As I learned when I went to Toronto a few months ago, and the place absolutely stank of fucking weed.
You're welcome.
Which is nice if you like the smell of weed, I guess. If you don't like the smell of weed, I guess that must
Love
be quite
it.
unpleasant.
If you don't like the
Favorite
smell of
thing in the
weed,
world.
you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite.
smells a bit
things in
like
the
burning
world, and I
plastic.
don't even smoke it.
Hey, wait till you
anymore.
come down to Brighton. There is nowhere that you can't smell it around here.
Love it. It's fine.
Oh, that slightly burning plastic.
That's what,
Cool.
honestly, that is probably what you guys need to do to save your empire.
I
Wow.
You gotta
personally
start
agree with
legalizing
this.
some
I
stuff.
completely think the best
It's
thing
free
this
money.
country could do is legalize weed.
Yeah, it's free money. People will pay.
everything will just all this reform nonsense will go away because people.
Are you kidding me?
Call it NHS THC, and you just all the taxes from that go straight into your. You guys will have new hospitals every like Starbucks.
100%.
People will
Yeah.
spend everything.
Why
and
hasn't that
pay the
happened in
ex-
They
states
won't give
that
a
have
shit
legalized
about
weed?
Colorado
Why,
did.
It has.
why
They're
hasn't
not gonna give a shit
Yeah.
about the boats. They're
Why-
gonna be high as shit.
why
They
hasn't
don't
that
care
happened in
about the
Canada?
boats.
Yeah, well,
It's
I'm
not,
not-
enough
Why do you
people.
think they're so chill?
we're not enough people, and it's taxed.
weed
pretty
doesn't
heavily
make
here.
people chill. Weed makes people cripplingly paranoid.
What are you talking?
Also, the
You
people-
get paranoid.
Not that you get the
Holy
good
fuck,
stuff.
man! Am I paranoid?
people-
Do I come off as paranoid to you?
Someone
too.
told me you're paranoid.
Oh, here we go.
Someone? What?
Hey, Ollie,
Whatever.
Ollie, it's not us. It's just everybody else in the chat is saying that you should be worried.
It's all the people who are
lurking in the
People working for the
They're all coming.
Illuminati are saying
The
they're
deep
outside the
state.
door.
I'm just saying. I buy a pound of pot every 3 months. I'm not paranoid. I
No,
just like
but
my
you
smoke.
do play frisbee golf on your desk. That's, you know.
Well, you know
That sounds
what?
like
If
jealousy,
he's
Mike. I'm not gonna lie.
He's not killing
So-
people on the street. Yeah?
That's
No,
very
he's
true.
playing frisbee
I think
golf
that-
in the
Right.
safety of his own home with his German
So,
Shepherd and his
I think
weed. He's
fundamentally the
having best of
problem
his
is
life.
the kind of people that vote reform wouldn't smoke weed even if it was
Yes,
legal.
they would.
Let's be
Yes,
honest.
they
yes,
would.
fucking
Absolutely.
Give them a
It's-
chance.
Yo,
Absolutely. But have you
'cause-
seen
Like-
the Reform Pub?
No, they
yet?
do. They do. They,
Look at
they,
the people that go to the Reform Pub.
No,
I-
I don't
Actually-
know about that.
weed, bruv.
I never tried weed until what was that, January 1st, 2020, when Illinois legalized it. So I waited until it was completely legal in the state,
People
and
that
then I
never even
tried weed.
smoked it are gonna smoke.
Yeah, everyone's gonna at
It
least
would be the
try
best thing
once,
this
and then
country
they're gonna be
could
like,
do.
"Oh, this is way like so I don't even drink anymore. My whole vibe is different." I was already kind of like on the right side of history, but a little high strung. I am way more chill than I used to be. It'll chill them out.
Yeah.
They may not
The,
smoke, but they'll
that's-
eat a gummy. I bet you they'll eat a gummy.
And I'll tell
Yeah.
you, we've sent the Labor Party before they got into government sent delegates to America to understand the business. And England is the biggest exporter of weed.
Hey, listen, it did our empire great during
What?
the
I didn't know that.
years that we were
Yes,
selling
have-
cocaine to
we have the
China.
most weed,
isn't it?
if I'm not mistaken, we have the most weed farms in Europe.
Yeah. Well, it's how we dominated China, isn't it? We got them all high as kites on
Oh wow,
heroin, basically.
opium.
Opium.
Yeah, but
well, we had better ships. That was more to do with it. But yeah,
But that- but
they wouldn't
that's
sell
a
our
se-
they wouldn't sell our smack.
It's a serious thing I'm saying. Like
Bitches
that
up.
we
Hang
do
on, we've
have
got
the
a couple
most.
of super chats that I have to stop the show for. First of all, Kate Smith, thank you very much for the super chat. Would anyone fly into out of the US now with aviation and border issues? Well, I wouldn't. Anyone here?
No.
Anyone would fly
No.
into out of America?
Not unless
No.
not
I was
unless
pretty
it's like that.
hesitant to enter America before all this happened.
Quite
so,
a
no.
clever game that Trump is playing to put the entire population of America under house arrest. But there you go. No one wants to protest. No one wants to leave. And Super Tansky, whoever that is, hello. She says, "What a
Never heard
sausage
of her.
fest! Ban men with mics. Discuss." See, because we got
Never heard of
Mikey
her.
and Mike.
I don't know who she
I'm a
is.
man, and I've got my
In-
mics.
Never heard of
They
her.
can come in if they want.
Yeah,
Okay,
Tansky,
sorry,
come in,
Graham.
come in.
Are the
There she's on the
ladies
sofa with
allowed
a
to?
hot water bottle.
Are
What?
ladies allowed to comment nowadays on?
Well,
Yeah.
I
I
was
didn't
gonna
realise.
say she's a nobody.
This
Remarkable.
is a very progressive channel.
Wow.
Yes. One day we're thinking of allowing a gay person to be on here and possibly, someone who's not white.
I don't have to
Where's the gay
acknowledge what
person?
I don't have to acknowledge what Tansky said because she can say it to my face.
Ooh. But she
Ooh.
says she's on the sofa with a hot water bottle, so fuck off.
Oh,
We know
bless her.
why. We know
P.S.
why.
Weed rules, so she's on the weed side of things.
Yeah, she-
Can I just
I
say
think
that
that weed should
earlier
be
on,
legalized. I
Alright,
just don't
fine.
like the smell of it.
she's a
earlier on,
sugar
Scott
bear.
Super
Then plug
Tansky
your
said
nose.
It doesn't
What?
matter what reform does. They'll face no scrutiny at all. Do any bad, they'll blame Labour. Do well, they'll take the credit. And I think that is what they're going to do in these councils.
She's not 100% wrong.
Mm.
Yeah,
Anne Phillips says woke madness, and Super Tansky says microphones really loud. Should we ban men with microphones?
No, I don't even know who she is. So fuck.
Ah, Scott, how dare you? How dare you deny the
Wait,
superness
I
of
gotta
Super
have something
Tansky?
green in here.
I
Yeah,
don't even
well,
know
I
who
don't
she
know
is.
why my microphone has got to be banned. What did I do?
But
You're
Tan's saying she
mad.
can't deal with all the men tonight. I feel like that.
can't.
I can't deal with them either, mate. They're fucking
How do you think I feel?
knobheads who just want to smoke weed and do scones wrong.
Scones.
I am not that guy, Graham. So
You still never answered me about the peanut butter on scones. Is that something you do?
Yeah.
This is why we sent you people to Canada, Ollie.
Yeah,
What?
you
You
men
don't
with
like peanut
mics.
What has that scone ever done to you? Why has Mikey got a square of invisibility?
I don't have a
He's
mic.
covering his mic up. Look.
What mic?
Perfect.
Oh, he's covered his mic.
I don't know what
very
you're
clever.
talking
He's got
about.
a green trapper keeper.
I don't know what you're. What do you? This is. My shirt always looks like this.
He has a green trapper keeper.
I actually
Tan's
think what
talking
we
about
should
the
do-
audacity. She's saying she's calling us out for our audacity.
Oh,
In a-
oh,
in
that's
between-
me.
oh,
That's me. She's
super
talking
chat,
about me
super
then.
chat.
She's talking
Jane
about me.
Away, thank you very much, Jane Away, for sending love to Tan. Happy Men's Night. Thanks, thanks, Jane
I
Away.
think in honour,
We could
Jane
do with a
Away.
in
couple
honor
Jane
of
Away.
super, in honor of Super Tansky, the five of us should have a discussion about women's issues.
Okay.
For about an hour or so. and
Yes.
let's just
Sure.
explore all of the nuances of the problems facing women, and then
Okay.
once we've
Here's
solved
a problem
them all,
facing women. Sorry to bring down the tone of the conversation, but there's literally a woman in America who's being kept alive. She's actually brain dead, and she's being kept alive because there's a baby inside her,
So crazy.
which is actually a plot out of season 3 of The
The
Handmaid's
Handmaid's Tale.
Tale.
Insane.
Because-
She's a vector.
because it's illegal to abort the baby. That's,
Yeah.
Yes. So they have to
That's
keep
it.
her alive. Well, she's not alive. She's brain dead. They're going to keep her alive for the next few weeks until they can cut the baby out of her if it's still viable. Nobody knows. And yeah. And her parents, her family are having to pay for the specialist care in the intensive care unit
That's such bullshit. They should.
because the
the
government
should
won't
for
pay
that.
it.
If the government want to ban it, they should pay for it.
It's
If they
about
want that
$5
baby so bad,
grand.
they should pay for it.
It's about $5 a day.
ridiculous.
Tansky saying jail men at birth.
I
What?
think somebody's hacked
That's fair.
Super Tansky's account. She's so nice and polite to us in the chat normally.
She
That
just say
doesn't
men
make
are
any
silly.
sense.
She says men are silly, which is true.
That's
I mean,
fair.
they are.
I agree,
pretty
we're silly, but jailous at birth? Come on, hell.
Well, yeah. Then
I
you've
mean-
got to prove your worth to get out.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Some of us will get out a
And
lot
one-
easier than others, and I think that
Once a month, you're handed a small baked good, and you're asked to pronounce it properly, and B, put jam and cream on it properly, and then you're allowed out into society.
Cream and
when
jam,
got
you
it
mean?
right.
You
Question about the
misspoke.
baked good. Question about the baked good. Was it made with THC marijuana butter or not? Then I don't want it.
I don't want it.
put it.
Smoking like a true stoner.
Then casually
Back,
take.
back in your cell, Ollie.
No, Ollie,
Not allowed
Ollie
out
is the
for
I think-
right idea, guys.
Ollie's like
Right.
the Ollie's like the proper way to prepare that is to lift the lid of the trash can, drop it inside, close the lid of the trash can.
Yeah, and I will make my own scones with
Yeah.
my own special butter. The
Scones.
The good butter.
Scones.
Then why is
Jesus
there
Christ.
why is there an E on the
As a
end?
question
Chocolate
earlier,
brownies.
Scott. I like it when people go in a funny way. I've got to say, I hope that I go. You know, when the day comes for me, I hope it's really funny, and I hope people make jokes about it because it's fucking
Really?
hilarious. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, you know, it's a sad time, isn't it?
I want to go to my sleep.
Bit
I
of
don't wanna know
levity.
about it.
That's not funny. It's funny, like the
Yeah.
joke
No,
about.
I don't want it to be funny.
I
just
want to
so
go
easily.
like my granddad in my sleep, not kicking and screaming like his
But it's
passengers.
really weird because you know, like on TikTok, you get these like sort of death influencers who talk to you and guide you through the steps of death. And
No,
how
no,
it's a
I
whole
don't
medical
watch that,
process.
Scott. Why are you watching that, Scott? That is not good for your mental health. Why are you watching?
No, it is very
Death
good for
told you,
it.
Scott.
It is good
Guys,
for
I
your
don't know if you
mental health.
Remember, I'm a goth. So
Oh.
yeah,
It
I
is good for your
instantly
mental
went
health.
into that. Mind you know what is really good for my mental health? I am on Evil Queen of Disneyland TikTok. She is a savage, shady bitch, and I live for every second of it.
Oh, excellent. We need to check that out. By the way,
Yes.
Jasmo66 has just dropped £5 into the super chat pile. Thank you very much for that.
Blam.
Jasmo66. Are the rumors of Trump being impeached true? Probably
No.
not.
What?
No,
So
No,
here's
I
a so
see
here's
all
a
kinds of channels online saying that.
unfortunately.
so here's the thing about that. It's gonna seem like a hoax if and when it happens. So with all of these, outright refusals to do anything that makes any goddamn sense, he is losing that MAGA base. That MAGA, they're not afraid of Elon anymore. It is starting to splinter. The beams are starting to groan and creak. So the further and faster he tries to shove all of this shit down America's throat, the worse it is for him. So
They voted
Keep it up,
against his
stupid.
budget today, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
So they voted.
Yeah, but
his own team
Graham
voted against
says,
his
it's-
budget today.
But as Graham says, it's the people that want it to be more austerity.
well that's an
want
easy
more cuts.
that's an easy way of saying that it's not far enough. That's why I'm not voting. This is politics. These aren't honest. You know what I mean? You're not getting an honest answer about why they're doing things. They know damn well that they cannot.
Bastards, that's what they're doing.
They know damn well they can't cut Medicaid, which is going to affect 80% of their constituents, and be able to go back to their fucking city. Like, they know that. That's why. So whether or not it's for good or for ill, they didn't do it. And Trump's not going to forgive that. So this will be fun.
Did you see, slightly related to that, did you see that Musk is being sued in a class action by the people that were offered $100 to vote on that? I think it was
Beautiful.
in Austin, because he has not paid them out. He's not paid them the $100.
Of course he did.
Oh,
Hey,
geez.
No,
he's
No,
been
he
hanging
told
out
you
with
that.
Trump. Of course he's not paying.
yeah.
The the election PAC sued over alleged failure to pay $100 to petition signers. Of course, he was never going to pay him. I mean,
There was someone shouting in the chat about the 7 articles. Yeah, there was 7 impeachment articles by a Democrat from Michigan. or somewhere.
yeah, they got
that was
withdrawn.
2
None of
weeks
them got
ago.
off
It's not
rails.
gonna- It's not going to go
Just
anywhere
noticed.
because they need a
No, it's not
majority of
because-
voters.
bec-
in the
but they've
House
also
of
laid
Representatives.
down their attitude to impeachment, which is to just ignore it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean a thing.
They don't care. It doesn't
basically.
mean anything. It's
Like-
bullshit. Because at the end of the day, when he controls the Senate, he'll never go. Because unless the Senate is democratically run, which it hasn't been for a very long time,
Hey,
they- they'll
hey,
never vote him out.
wait till that Medicaid get cut. It's gonna be a whole different. Hey, it's gonna be a whole different
I hope the
thing.
midterms fucker. I hope the midterms do it, but
Do you know why? I don't think people are going to. I mean, I might be
I don't
wrong.
think
I
they'll
hope
vote.
I'm wrong. I don't think people are going to change their minds, even when they're dying. I think it's going to be like Reverend Jim Jones writ large, and they're going to be
Drinking the
like, "Look
Kool-Aid.
at me, Donnie. It's all for you, Donnie," as their
Yeah.
child slips away in their arms. Honestly, the Trump MAGA lunatics out there are just off the fucking charts. There's no hope for them. It's a cult. It's a cult.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
As is reform,
nuts.
according to Rupert Lowe.
Yes. Well, Reform's quite similar actually. Charismatic figure who, in another walk of life, would be a preacher who would go around with his flock and tell them to give him all his money until he got sick of them. And he'd get
Speaking of money, Shane K with the 2 English pound super chat dollars. Please send raccoons and opossums to the UK. In a box? In a bag?
Mm.
Blended? Pellets? How would you like your raccoons and opossums? Y'all don't have opossums?
No.
No.
We don't have opossums, no.
But you do have raccoons.
Yes.
No.
No.
We don't have raccoons
Sure.
here, no.
No, we don't have
No.
raccoons.
You've
Oh,
n-
okay.
Have you
Flash
seen one?
bandits. Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Been to a zoo.
We have zoos.
You have them at the zoo? That's funny
Yeah.
that raccoons are at the zoo. Yeah. They're at the zoo for us too, but they're usually like in the dumpsters, like, ha a funnel cake.
Would you like to know something interesting about opossums?
Yes, please, Graham.
They're marsupials.
They're the only North American marsupial.
They are indigenous to North America, or the Western Hemisphere, actually. And they reckon that marsupials started in South America, and they got to Australia via Antarctica when it was all a big blob, a big continent.
Pangea.
Yes.
Was that Ice Age 4?
It was Ice Age 4. It was. With Sid the
I saw
Swan.
that one. Shane K says, it's possums. The O is silent. I know, but opossums is funnier. And I am not a serious person today. I
They
cannot
do have
be.
possums in Australia, which are different from opossums.
That's true.
Yeah, they're not as
The
cute as
weirdest
ours.
one is
Hey, talking of which, he won't be watching, but could I wish my brother good luck? He's in Australia at the moment running an ultra marathon up and down
Oh, wow.
the Blue Mountains. He started
Well done,
about
Mike's brother.
hour and a half ago.
I'm
I'm
Idris
tracking
Elba.
him on a map. At the
I
moment.
goes where I
brilliant.
goes.
Good stuff.
And
Where
a
is he?
big,
Whereabouts is he? Blue Mountains. Is that Victoria?
Yeah.
I'm Idris Elba.
Cool.
a big,
Say
I goes where I
Amanda.
goes.
a big thank you to Alistair Care for 5 network gifted
Elba.
memberships. So thank
goes
you.
where I goes.
So welcome Kate, Dave W, Miss Non Sequitur, and Helen Wilkes. Oh, and Politics
Elba.
Social.
I goes where
Ooh,
I
am I a
goes.
member of your channel now?
You
Cool.
are. You can
Again.
watch our hilarious members only video of us reading the
Idris Elba.
comment section.
I goes where I goes.
You. I've always wanted to be a massive member. Alistair, thank you very much on our channel as well for the super chat.
Woohoo.
Scones and biscuits, which is better? Would you go do scones and gravy or biscuits with cream and jam? Debate. Go.
Oh,
American biscuits are better. You're welcome.
No, the
Oh,
best
yes,
biscuits are British
100%.
biscuits.
You're not, Graham. You're out of your league, dude. American Southern soul food biscuits are
Nothing
better.
better.
Yeah, but they're for
you,
gravy. It's like a.
you don't need nothing.
savory
You could
thing.
put a little honey on there. You don't, or a little bit of butter.
Put butter on it.
That's
I
all
love
you
put
need.
butter
It's
on
it's better than
Is-
what you
So,
got
Scott,
cooking over there.
You think that a Southern biscuit in America is nicer than a McVitie's biscuit over here? A hobnob.
but they're not the same
Chocolate
thing.
hobnob.
Not.
It's
they're
not even
at all
close.
The same thing.
Milk chocolate digestive.
A
me?
biscuit in
have to
America is
remember,
pretty
those
much
are cookies.
exactly the same recipe as a
The
scone or
reason
a
why Americans are
Those
so
are cookies.
angry all the time and upset and why they go around shooting each other
we
and
go.
invading
Here we
countries
go.
is because they don't have biscuits.
They have cookies.
all Americans.
Yeah.
Are you saying we have a lack of snacks over here? Are you crazy?
No.
Are you
No,
crazy?
biscuits.
Quality snacks.
You got terrible
tripping.
snacks that are junk food.
We're in the
What do you
land of
want?
Nabisco. Are you crazy?
Is a digestive that has to have a little thing on it that says does not aid with digestion, which I think is just fucking hilarious.
No, we don't
There you
need. We don't need none of your health pellets. We got snacks
They're
over
not
here.
healthy. They're not,
You know what I
I don't
mean?
wanna go
No,
through this,
our
yeah.
food's
Your
definitely not.
your
healthy.
your little gerbil pellets that y'all like to give y'all children. We give them pure, unadulterated,
Sugar.
high
Sugar.
fructose corn syrup in several different forms. We just use it to make several products and then just fuse it in the one and then shove it into the kid's face at
It's
age
true.
1.
So
America has found 55 different words for sugar and put them all on the ingredients pack of everything
have.
they cook.
Josh says all this biscuit talk has got my dog excited. Nice one. And then
Why is
Jazz-
your dog watching YouTube? What's going
know.
on?
And
What kind of a world are we
Jasmo
in?
66 says American biscuits are the same as our scones. They are very similar, actually. But scones tend to be a bit
Hey,
higher. Like the biscuits are
My-
this bit thick, and I don't know.
Mikey, I've got a question for you. It's,
Ready?
The cats and dogs. We've been worried about them now for about 6 months, but the whole story seems to have gone away. Are people still eating them?
Um,
Trump-
Youngstown, Ohio.
Did Trump fix that problem?
yeah, I
Eating
never.
the
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah, I never repeated the racist lie like that. Like that was the equivalent of like him saying like, an Asian person eats dog. You know what I mean? So like, I never repeated that because that's all it was. You know what I mean? It was never a thing. It was just him making a racist remark about a group of
Eating
people.
the dogs.
Like it was
But
just, it was
it's a
just
remarkable
racist.
thing because for at least a month it was the top story, wasn't it? It was the thing
Because
that everybody kept
racist
repeating.
people like racist headlines, and then they just
Yeah,
ran
yeah,
with
totally.
it. And then into the failure of several thousands of people the mainstream media picked it up and just went with the racist framing and just kept repeating it over and over and over again, as if it, because that's the point about a slur, right? It doesn't matter if it's true or not. The point is that people keep saying it, so that there's the word association. When people hear Haitians in Ohio, that's what they go to automatically, as opposed to the fact that all of the business owners over there were glad that the Haitians showed up because the methed out Americans weren't showing up to work on time. But they don't talk about it that way. Or the fentanyl pilled up Americans wouldn't show up for work, but the Haitians would.
Yeah. And to me, I absolutely buy into that side. But the other thing is just how the media managed to amplify stories like that, make them important, and then the voters don't give a shit 4 months later. Like no Republican MAGA voter is finding out whether Trump and Vance fixed this imaginary problem that they created for themselves.
They did fix the problem because they took away the TPS for everybody all over the place. So the Afghanis, the Ukrainians, any Palestinians, all those people got their temporary protected status taken away. Or they're in the courts right now. He's trying to get rid of every single, because that's why they were there. Because Haiti is in a complete free fall, and these people escaped, came to America on temporary protected status, and he's like, I'll just undercut it that way. And then, what's that? Zelensky's not doing things the way I like them. All the Ukrainians, all the Ukrainians, Chicago in particular got 30,000 Ukrainians when the war started. No one said a word, but then we started taking migrants that Scott Abbott was busing up here from the border in Texas, and then everybody and their mama went crazy about these brown people coming up here. But when it was white people, they were allowed to. They didn't. No one said a word about the white people coming in from Eastern Europe,
and now from South Africa.
Oh yeah, he's about to take y'all farms.
There was Mikey. It was literally a government initiative here to house Ukrainian people in your home.
Well, that's because they were young women with children, and the Tories were quite happy to take in effectively au pairs from Ukraine. That's what they ended up doing.
Thanks, Shane, for the $1 super chat. Thank you.
Shocking.
Just on that, and this is me conspiracy theorizing. But the arsonist attacks on Keir Starmer's properties turned out to have somebody's been arrested for that, and he's a Ukrainian national. And the tin hat flashing lights trigger went off in me today when I heard that story, and I'm thinking that's a Russian paid guy, isn't it? Because there were a bunch of stories last year about arson attacks all over South London that were being done by Ukrainians. So I'm just wondering if that's, is this part of Russian propaganda to pay some Ukrainian to do this, to make Britain turn against Ukraine? That's my theory. Because I can't, for the life of me, work out why a Ukrainian would be so upset with Keir Starmer that he wants to go and set fire to his house. This country's been pretty good towards Ukraine. I can't think of the reasons why you would be so upset with the Prime Minister. You want to kill him.
But also people are not as... Yeah.
Money.
Well, that's true.
People aren't right in the head.
Well, yeah, it's
money can buy anything. Almost.
This thing about white South Africans being invited over, Trump has told everyone that America's closed to any kind of asylum seeker or refugee, except for white South Africans. They looked up the stats.
They need our help.
5,000 people have been killed murdered in South Africa, and one of them was a farmer. We don't even know if they were black or white.
They're under attack.
One of them was.
Did you see what Grok was doing on this subject? For about the last week, if you go on, if you ask Grok anything on Twitter, it effectively gives an answer. It will say, you can say, what's the batting average of X or Y baseball player, and it will come back and say it's 85. And also in South Africa, white genocide is a term that's being used. And the best, it goes into this sentence talking about a song that's being sung by people trying to kill white farmers in South Africa, but the courts are challenging this. And actually, Grok is constantly fighting Musk, I think, because it's giving truthful answers and saying this is a conspiracy theory. There is no evidence to support it. But it is blatantly being... it's being forced by Musk to give to spread a story about
Now I'm
white
ready.
genocide in South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It doesn't
exactly. That's our
help that
conspiracy
Julius
theory
Malema.
background.
It doesn't help that Julius Malema does still sing the song from the apartheid days, which starts off kill the boar, kill the farmer. Malema is he's a bit of a loose cannon, and he gives a lot of mileage to the racists in South Africa who say, "Oh, these people are they just want to kill us all," and he's there singing, "Fucking yeah, let's kill them all." And I'm like, but he's the only serious kind of opposition to the ANC over there, and they could do with some more normal opposition. And I wish the ANC was split in two and have a left wing and a right wing, or centrist wing or something.
I'm quite frankly, I'm glad that they're bringing the South Africans over here to get these racist white people off of these farms, because Trump's because this is all by Elon and Trump's design. They got this. Yeah. They got another tariff war started. So now these farmers are going to lose this crop, and they're going to lose their shit. And they already just made them pay back the loans for all the upgrades they just did. So they got all this debt, and they really need this crop. And then Trump's fucking everything up. So it's going to fuck that up for them. And then they're going to lose their farm. And guess who's going to take your farm?
Rich foreigners.
Yeah. Well, they don't even have to be rich, because Elon can just front them. You know what I mean? Yep. He can just, as long as they're part of like the apartheid is cool with us club from South Africa, he'll just fund them to get over here. And then they can get a fresh start on you racist white motherfuckers' land. Enjoy. You're about to get colonized. Yeah, by South Africans.
I know what it feels like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Staring into eternity, saying Grok has disagreed with Musk on a few things, including supporting trans rights. Grok has also said that Jesus was left-wing. Grok,
essentially,
the AI...
Grok is turning out to be like one of his kids.
Jesus didn't play left-wing. He was a center.
There was a story
I thought it was a sweeper.
One of the server farms that his AI uses, and they have these disgusting, like really filthy, I think it was gas turbines that run 24 hours a day, and they're just destroying the environment in the local area. I think it's Mississippi.
Memphis.
That he's doing this in. Memphis?
Yeah.
Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
And and kids are getting ill from the
fumes.
Yeah, just the whole thing, everything about Musk is just fucking disgusting. I just really, really want him to stop.
And he thought
maybe that's why I liked Andor so much, because it was kind of like wish fulfillment, because the things that I wanted to happen to the baddies fucking happened to the baddies.
He's like, I can't believe they put a couple of bullet holes and burned 10 cars. Oh, you're gonna poison a neighborhood? All right, buddy. Good luck. I get that these people have these villainous plans, but as always, they have to enact them.
Yeah.
And as lazy and ignorant as Americans might be, they're also petty and proud. So, all right, keep fucking up, keep stepping on the wrong wire there, and you're gonna touch something that you shouldn't have touched. You bring in them South Africans and let them establish anything or make too much noise, and those Southern white folks will turn on them. They do. Where's Vivek? Anybody seen Vivek Ramaswamy? How about Nikki Haley? How about anybody of color? Cash Patel has to keep his head lowered at all. Cash Patel has to keep his head lowered at all times when he's speaking to white folk. You can't even look up and talk to him.
When he was talking,
Cash Patel's about to lose his job because he can't get a budget.
Yeah. When he was talking in Congress, who has been asked questions. And he just looked like a naughty school child. He
doesn't know anything.
I'll
look into that. I'll look into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was his answer to every question. I'll get back to you on that. I'll look into that. We hope to have that sometime soon.
I'll give you a written answer later.
Yeah.
They've all spent the budgets, haven't they, in the first couple of weeks?
Yeah.
They've got their money left now. And they're not supposed to do that.
There's no money left.
But what happens to them? Do they can they like get arrested for that? For like
Nothing.
contempt of
Nothing happens.
Congress or something? Isn't that a thing?
Well, they're not going to get any more funds. So this is the problem with Chuck
This is the
Schumer. This
plan.
is the problem with what Chuck Schumer did, is because if you don't shut down the government like we all fucking told you to, they do this. They blow all the money, and then the government shuts down anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you should have shut it off to wake the American people up, to let them know that
Then they
this
could
is
blame the Democrats, couldn't they?
for what?
For shutting down the government. They said, "Oh,
Why did we shut? Why did they?
votes?"
And then that's the conversation. Why did the Democrats shut down the government? Because they're trying to steal all your shit. So we turned everything off.
Yeah, but the Trump lot won't believe that, will they?
Well, they don't-
Surely leaving it so they actually spend all
Exactly.
the money, so they got no one else to blame, is a better play. I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
just-
we didn't want all the budget to be blown. You know what I mean? Like, there should be, like, some of that money needs to go. That money needs to be spent where it needs to be spent.
So
They're not spending it where it needs to be spent.
So if you're working for the government, for the FBI, and Kash Patel spent all your money, so there's no money for wages anymore.
Right.
So you lose your job because of Kash Patel spending all the money on gold-plated fucking wheelie bins. Can you sue Kash Patel because you've lost your job? Because they've got no money to pay you.
Yep.
So
and
could there
a
be,
lot of that,
like,
and a lot of that is
hundreds of
unionized.
thousands of lawsuits going in.
Yeah, and a lot of these places, a lot of these workers are unionized. So that's why half of this shit, like a lot of those firings, these people are in a fucking union. You can't just fire somebody in a fucking union. It takes weeks, months. It takes write-ups. There's an escalation tree. We have workers' rights over here. They're in the U.S. government. You can't just fire them on a whim. You have to give them a written warning. Then you have to have a sit-down talk. You have to all this stuff, or you have to have some legislation from Congress, which he did not have.
But if there's no money, then they can't pay them. So it's not a case of them
Well,
being
no, then
sacked,
we
it's
go
just-
into more debt.
Yes.
Then they
But
start
that's the
and
plan,
that
isn't
and
it?
that yeah.
They'll stop paying them in World Liberty Bitcoins, won't they? 'Cause
Melania coin.
yeah.
Baron coins
that's
coming
the
out.
thing
We'll get
about
you
the-
in on the ground level instead of
The,
paying
the
you.
UAE thing, that's a huge story, and it's going to be difficult to talk about because it is complex. But they set up the World Liberty Bank or something like that, the World Liberty coin, and they're able to produce coins. The company is based in UAE, but because Trump is in charge of everything in America at the moment, he's actually trying to make it
It's Marco Rubio.
a legal currency. They're trying to make it a legal currency in the USA, so it will have the protection of the law and be regulated. And it was set up in the UAE because the UAE government put $2 billion. They brought the first $2 billion of coins off him last week, just before he turned up. It's like the levels of corruption are so weird. But the problem is that when you're dealing with crypto, most people don't really understand what the hell crypto is and how it works in any way, shape, or form. So it all feels like funny money to them, but it is direct bribery. It's, it's as simple as that.
Well, that's what I'm saying about P. Diddy. Even if he does get done for his crimes, he's very, very rich, and he can just bribe the president of the United States to give him a pardon because he's getting done on a federal level. It's not state level. So Trump can pardon him, and he probably fucking will. Because he'll bribe him with a gold-plated fucking Learjet or something.
He doesn't have anything. The government already has all of his shit. He doesn't have any bargaining chips. They already confiscated everything. If you're, you know what I mean? If you're part of a criminal enterprise, that's all theirs anyway. They stole all that shit. Half of the crypto they have right now is confiscated crypto. So they're finding out who has a lot of crypto, finding out who has any kind of petty crime, and then they're possessing all of their shit because it's a mob. Shane K has a £2 English super chat. Did anyone see the debate between Cedar and Ezra? I did not see that, but I see it here. I'm going to watch it right after this. I don't know how I feel about Ezra Klein and this abundance bullshit that they're trying to, like the Democrats. The way forward is to just, why don't you be the ones to unleash all of the regulations and really get business started here in America again? And it's like, so you just want to be the ones on the grift so that corporate America can just take over whatever is left of the country. No. A big no. No thanks. That's a no from this guy. I don't know if, because so much of your guys' stuff is socialized. Like, I don't even know how that would, like, it would be worse than like the NHS. It would be like your NHS and the housing and transportation and all of that stuff just going up to individual companies, and then after the conglomerates get formed, and then having to deal with all, like, it's horrible. Like, this later stage of capitalism that we're going through is no fun when there's like 6 companies that own the entire nation.
It made no mistake, a lot of ours has gone that way. The NHS is pretty much the only thing that's still safe from that at the moment in this country.
We're in a mad situation at the moment, Mikey. This is like something that you'd expect to happen in America, where there's a massive company that runs all the water in the south of England called the Thames Water. And they have a monopoly. You don't have any choice. You want water. If you want to flush your shit away somewhere, you have to pay Thames Water for the privilege. And they are staving off bankruptcy and renationalisation by a £3 billion loan that's been levied by the government. So we're basically backing it as taxpayers. And the first thing they did was they wanted to give their executives big bonuses with the money.
Yeah.
With the money that we
and
gave
this
them.
is about Labour and their comms, right? Because one of the first things they did was give Ofwat the power to prevent that from happening, and to in fact fine the individuals and imprison the individuals if they cause poisoning, etc. They changed the law to mean that executives for water companies were finally able to be directly taken to court for anything that they did. And we're about to hit that phase where the bonuses are due, and essentially Ofwat have said anyone that gets a bonus in a company that is losing money or not providing the services that it should will not get those bonuses, and they'll be fined if they do it. It's a good story. We are literally saying these people can't get away with this anymore, and they're personally liable for it now.
Yeah.
But it won't play out in the press because, you know, it's what everyone's been screaming for. Somebody digs in and actually does the work, changes the law, and Labour aren't going to do enough to make, because Keir Starmer will be in fucking Albania with GB News sort of talking racist nonsense and being turned down by the Prime Minister of Albania to start a bloody concentration camp.
It's great, isn't it?
I don't get me ranting on this, right? But he flew to Albania with one journalist on the plane, and it was a journalist from GB News.
Yep.
That's terrible.
And the only reason we know this is Channel 4 sent a journalist to the airport to ask why.
Mike, listen, he has played an absolute blinder on this, because the stats came out today from YouGov, and it's shown that he had just 4% of refuck voters approved of Keir Starmer. And then the last month, after all he's done to demonize the homeless, the disabled, trans people, immigrants, he's now down to 2%.
It's ludicrous. It's just ludicrous.
Well done, Keir. Well done, dickhead.
And it's not only that, it's you know, how can you go to Albania to do a Rwanda deal effectively? Take GB News to showcase it to the racists and say, look what we're doing. We're setting up concentration camps. And they hadn't done the diplomatic work to actually make sure that they could do this. And then in a live press conference, the Prime Minister of Albania stands
absolutely massive.
No, we're not going to do that.
Prime Minister. Have you seen the size of him? He's like the fucking mountain from Game of Thrones. Keir Starmer's like this big. He looks like little fucking Peter Pocket. Looks like you put him in his pocket. Tom Thumb.
Unbelievable.
But yes, it's just a weird time to be alive, isn't it? Where's all the goodwill gone? How do you evaporate that much goodwill towards Labour and the you know, Starmer and everything? He is now officially more unpopular than Corbyn was in 2019, when Corbyn was at his height of his unpopularity.
I don't understand why the left refuses to wield power once they get it. Why do they have to win something and then sit on their hands and act like they're gonna, you know, get a detention if they actually try to do something for people? You know what I
As
mean?
the
Like,
right don't give a fuck and just do what they want
The
to do.
Republicans, when they get in, they change the voting laws more in their favor. The Democrats, every time they get in, they don't.
they just
They plain
do
and
the
simple
tax
don't.
cut straight
They
away.
leave it alone.
They-
It's like
when they've got political capital, the Republicans do the tax cut, and when we've got political capital, we literally hit the poor basically and start.
no, they start cutting things to take care of the cuts that the Republicans is like. You're just servicing what they did as opposed to fixing what the mistake that they've made.
We're essentially more effective Tories at the moment. That's what this government is.
Yeah, you're just being the
competent,
good cop,
competent Tories, basically.
doing the work for them instead of doing the work of the people.
When you got all that political capital in July and everybody hated the Tories, they literally should have just come in and done something to the rich. They just should have said there is a new rate of tax. It's 75%, and we know half the billionaires in this country are going to leave. Fuck off. We don't want you if you don't want to pay for this country, basically. And they should have just done it and then ride out the next 4 years of the press having a go at them, because the press are having a go at them anyway. It's just, it was always going to happen.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs. Like, I'm really, really pissed off at Labour. I'm beyond livid with them. I think they've absolutely screwed the pooch on this in every way they can. And it's.
I watched your show with
I don't know how
Phil
they're gonna
today.
fucking get back on their feet.
thought
What
it
do
was
you think? Do you
interesting-
think that Labour are going to win the next election? Because I fucking don't.
I don't know. I mean, I want them to, but I don't think they're going to manage it. I think the only thing really
Phil's
is that there
very
isn't
adamant
any-
that they're going to win and it's nothing to worry about. And I'm like,
no, I
I've
thought
got a feeling that
you
we
had
should
an
be worrying
interesting
about it.
debate. I thought it was a interesting. You and Phil at the moment, there is some shallow red water between you, I think, nowadays, basically. But
well, I mean,
no, in essence, I think that there isn't
agree with
a
everyone.
strong left-wing movement to challenge. I think only the Green Party, if the Green Party reinvents itself in this sort of green populism route, then it might destroy Labour's core vote.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way they could lose, because I genuinely think they're going to have to shift around and let the Tories and Reform fight themselves to death in the next 3 years. They should just be standing back and letting that happen. You know,
Janeway is saying we're trying nothing and nothing's working.
Yeah, that's true.
It really is. But like, no, Labour are trying to do stuff, but they're just trying to do the wrong things. Why are they trying to appeal to people who wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire? They're trying to appeal to lifelong Labour haters, people who go on and on at length about how much they hate Labour and how much like, oh, Labour let everyone in, they do all this bad stuff. You know, it's like, why are you trying to pander to them? And at the same time, they are pissing off all of their activists, all of the people who knocked on doors for them in the last election are now fucking livid. I'm in a group. I'm in a Durham group of Labour activists, and everyone in the group is fucked off with what the people at the top are doing.
Same here. But the problem is they're not going to lose that core vote, and Phil's quite right about that. Like, you know, Labour activists will still vote Labour or not vote, and that's a danger.
It's not voting, that's the problem.
Yeah, but I've said this over and over again. Lewis Goodall was saying it as well on air today, which was reassuring, that, you know, traditionally the Labour Party they're very conservative. Traditionally they're not, it's only Tony Blair's government that was a progressive Labour government. Most of the other Labour governments we've had and opposition Labour governments have not been that way. That's what you and Phil were talking about as well today. Yeah. And Lewis Goodall was saying today that, you know, the problem with Keir Starmer is that he doesn't really have an ideology. He's quite lightweight when it comes to having firm ideology other than the rule of law. You know, he was talking about the Chagos Islands and saying that, well, of course he went with international law. And it's also why he will defend the ECHR, because it's a legal thing, and as far as he sees it, that's something worth defending. But in terms of where he sits on whether people should be warm in the winter if they've got no money, basically, that's a practical economic problem for Rachel Reeves to solve. There's no heartfelt politics in any of this, and he can switch and change. You know, Lewis Goodall said, no, John Sopel said in the newsagents today, if it were Boris Johnson, you would just constantly be calling him out as a liar, because 6 months ago he said this and now he's saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. But
it's only because he's got this veil of competence, basically.
Did
and
you
no
see
charisma.
his response to Liz Saville Roberts from Plaid Cymru when she stood up and said, in Prime
Yeah.
Minister's Questions. She called him out about the fact that when he was going for leader, he said that he wanted to help immigrants. He's gone from that to Island of Strangers, and his response to her was just so rude and absolutely out of
It was
order.
something like, I wouldn't
it
have to
was-
listen to your stupid comments or something.
Yeah, it was
wasn't
something like that.
yeah.
It was really fucking rude. It was beneath him, and it was the kind of response that you would get from Boris Johnson. And I was
Yeah.
sitting there thinking, fucking hell. As far as I can say, I'm not particular. I was never enamored with Starmer. He was a useful tool to get into power. Now they're in power, fucking awesome, brilliant, whatever. But like, I wasn't thinking that we needed to get rid of Starmer before the next election. I'm changing my mind on that very rapidly now. I think he's becoming a toxic asset to the Labour Party.
Well, and
really
I think the other thing that's the other thing that he was being described as today, which is that he doesn't actually do politics. He's not really a politics person. He's more of a governing person. And I think this is about oh god, what's the name of his advisor? It's completely slipped my mind.
Jeremy.
All this weirdo.
Yeah,
Morgan
But-
McSweeney.
Morgan. Yeah, so I think it's about that, because I think the reason he attacks the Greens, Reform, and the Conservatives is Morgan shows him the polling basically and says the Greens are a threat to you as well. And he's actually okay with the Lib Dems because he did a deal with the Lib Dems at the last election, and it suits it. All right, when he replies to Ed Davis.
Mute them for a second. Kay in the chat says Brookfield Zoo in Chicago lets peacocks wander around the outdoor food court like giant fancy pigeons. I protect those peacocks with my very soul, because there's always some annoying ass little brat kid bothering them, and I protect them. Even the Canada geese. I told the little boy that they were poisonous so he would leave them alone. Oscar the Grouch. Oh. They're not on PBS anymore. They haven't been on PBS for a while. They've been on HBO this whole time. Oops, sorry.
Starmer's reply to Savile Roberts was Rachel Reeves' pathetic, over-the-top laughter in response to it. That fucked me off as well, and I noticed
Sorry.
Angela Rayner didn't laugh.
No.
Angela Rayner was just a little bit. You could see her sort of sinking
really
down
doing
into
this?
her seat, going, "Are we going there?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Trump Bear's going to be hosting Sesame Street now. But yeah.
So, Mikey, I genuinely didn't know Sesame Street wasn't PBS funded anymore. That's a good thing, I guess. If
They
HBO
went to HBO like 10 years ago.
Oh, right.
It was
that
before the
So-
pandemic. So it's
you've
been
gotta
many
watch the
years.
Same channel that's got like, I don't know, The Sopranos and Game of Thrones to watch Sesame Street. Does it just play afterwards? It just go straight from.
Well, usually when like I let
of
my
Thrones to
child
Sesame Street?
when I let my child watch Sesame Street, I just give her the remote and I'm like, only watch Sesame. Think about what you think about it, man. Think about it. The kids, I don't trust her with a spoon. I'm definitely not giving her the remote. She is dangerous. Untrustworthy.
Guys, I'm gonna chip off. I think I'm tired.
Yeah, it's coming
and,
up to the witching hour, so I think we're going to wrap up very
Is
soon,
it?
Scott. Yeah,
All right, right.
it's 12
And
minutes.
can I just
Well-
say what a pro Graham is, because I know you're not feeling very well at all tonight.
I've got a cranking headache.
Okay.
Yeah, you've done
Cat
very
gave
well
me
to
a
get
couple of
through your-
pills when I started, but it's
Come
not
back.
great. It's not great. Graham, tell everyone about next weekend, says Super Tansky. Oh, yes.
Yeah, tell
next
'em.
weekend, we are going to do a Friday Night Social IRL. So if you
A knife fight.
get your ass down to Bristol, we'll be taking over the upstairs of a pub, I believe.
Bristol?
Sorry, Brighton. I told you it's later.
Wow.
We're going to be in Bristol.
He's got Tim on the.
Brighton. Fucking done it again.
He's got Tim on the
Do
brain,
you
is
wanna
what
do
it
this
is,
for
Ali.
me, Mike?
Okay. Yep.
He's got Tim on
Assuming
the
Graham
brain.
has booked the right train tickets, we're going to be in Brighton next Friday night, and in a pub
Brighton.
yet to be identified. Because if enough of you tell us that you're coming, then I can get a big room in a pub. Where
Well,
we just
Josh-
spend
Josh
enough in
says-
the bar.
Josh says you can find somewhere where we can go upstairs, and there's a little pub
Brilliant.
or something. And
I'm
we can just go
glad Josh is
upstairs.
picking that one up. That's
Yeah, no, I am as well. he
Um,
knows Bristol better than I do.
Yeah, there's a nice little pub in Bristol on the embankment there.
Brighton.
That'd be great.
Brighton. So next week I'm going to be in Brighton, meeting up with Mike. Super Tansky will be there, and we also have Josh and Scott. You're coming down, aren't you, Scott?
Possibly.
I
Possibly.
hope so,
I
I
Scott.
need to check the fundage.
Come down.
I'll try.
So we'll be there on the Friday night, and yeah, it should be a good old fashioned laugh, and yeah, we'll have some drinks and talk a load of shit, which is what we do on this channel. Talk a load of shit about politics. But yeah, Scott, before you go, did you have a story of the week that you wanted to talk about, or have you?
I
have
think
you-
we covered. Excuse me. We covered the sort of Trump stuff, which I was going to talk about the jet and all of that, So we did that to death.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, that's all good. So, well, thanks, Scott. We'll let you get off if you want to
Thank
go.
you guys. It's been wonderful this evening.
Thanks,
Bye,
Scott.
Scott.
Love you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
bye.
Hope to
Scott
see you
will,
next week.
Scott will be on the Ben Podcast Network on the 27th, I believe.
That's correct.
Seven?
I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I'm
We'll
looking
figure something
forward
out.
to it.
Tuesday.
Bowler Hat Man was just on, and he had no idea what we were going to talk about, and he survived.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'll be
All
okay
good.
then. All right, guys. I'll speak to you later.
Cheers,
Bye.
Scott.
Good night, Scott.
Bye, Scott.
So since we talked about biscuits before, I know that I've got some chocolate hobnobs and some McVitie's
Ooh.
ginger
Chocolate
nuts
hobnobs.
in the other room. And
Chocolate
I've
hobnob.
got to go.
What the
I've
fuck
gotta
is
go.
made
those?
up. It sounds made up.
No, chocolate hobnobs.
Some hobnobs and some
Hobnobs,
gish
man.
scallops.
This is why people in America are so angry all the time. This is why they need
Look,
guns,
guys,
and
look.
shooting things.
Where are we? Digestive millionaire bars. Can't find my camera.
Oh, that
Hey.
dirty bastard. Oh, yes. Oh,
Just telling you, we win
They
on
don't-
snacks.
They don't sound silly to themselves, Ali, just to us.
Yeah, I know.
A grown man just looked me in the face and said, hey, I'm going to go eat some hobnobs. And I'm supposed to just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
just...
You go to Narnia and have your snack.
like it sounds like it's straight out of that. What was that marketplace that they would go to on Harry Potter,
Oh yeah.
Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley.
where they would go to like the little sweet shop with the every flavor beans? Some hobnobs is definitely.
Three bags of hobnobs, please.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Can I have some licorice hobnobs?
fucking love hobnobs.
What is it? Describe it as a snack.
It's like a failed Anzac biscuit.
They're just incapable of
That's
describing
nothing.
things. They just incapable.
It's an OT.
They
It's an
said
OT.
absolutely nothing.
It's an OT
Without-
biscuit. It's a thick OT biscuit with lots of oats in.
OT.
It's crunchy
Oats.
and it's really
Like
it's just
granola?
Fucking awesome. Yes.
Yeah,
yes. It's like a
slightly
biscuit
finer granola. Yeah.
made of granola. It
Have
is-
you-
It is.
Do you
fucking
know
awesome.
if I said like an iced oatmeal cookie, does that ring any bells for you? Is it similar to that?
Ooh,
But
oatmeal
again,
cookie.
it sounds as weird
Yes,
to
it
us.
does sound like an oatmeal
As a
cookie.
Because maybe
hobnob.
that's what he's talking about. Maybe they got like, or is it like a ginger
oatmeal
snap?
cookie that's dipped in chocolate.
Yes, I'm looking at an oatmeal cookie, oat crisps. Yes,
Okay.
And
But it's
Those
dipped
are-
in
too
chocolate.
detailed
those
for
are
this time
elite.
of night,
have
but
raisins in it though, because that's
a
weird.
ginger snap, Mikey, is not a biscuit. Right? It's
Oh.
basically it's ginger flavored sugar that's bobbled in a flat thing and then rolled up into a roll.
That
It's not a
sounds
Yeah.
really
Ginger
long. Do they put that
nuts
on the
are
shelf at the
biscuits.
store?
biscuit. Yeah.
a
Ginger
very-
biscuit.
All
It's
the
a different
signs
thing
lined up, and then there's just that really long one for ginger
right.
snaps.
They're good. We also have Jaffa cakes. Do you have Jaffa cakes over there?
Nope.
Yeah,
A biscuit with orange in it.
yeah,
I'm
I
recently
have
just
had
covered-
that.
Orange in it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got that orange, like that chocolate orange flavor thing.
Yeah.
Well, we
Rich
have
tea.
Terry's
Do you have
chocolate
rich?
oranges.
You have
Do you have
rich
those?
tea. I think you call them. Oh, what are they called in America?
They're called Be Quiet Zero.
No, they're just like the really cheapest biscuits you can get. Oh, I forgot what they call them. It begins with M.
Oreo.
I think they call
chocolate
them butter
oranges?
biscuits in mantequilla biscuits in Mexico, but I'm not sure what they call them in America. We have
Have you ever seen it?
Garibaldi's.
Yeah, we have that.
Supatansky, by
Albans.
the way, Mikey Supatansky is saying, I will come on the bin podcast for the price of a hobnob.
Oh,
Sounds good.
Is that a
Gonna get
threat?
some
Jammy
followers.
Dodgers. Do you have Jammy
might be.
Dodgers?
Did she just threaten me?
Yeah, pretty much. It's
Are
a
you threatening
classic
me?
British
Are you
threat.
Cornholio.
I need TP for my bungalow. Shane, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, my friend. That's very kind of you. Free Palestine, yes, indeed. The shit
Word.
going down in Israel, Palestine at the moment is fucking disgraceful. Power to the people with Graham Prices. I can't get to Brighton, but if there's ever a meetup in Liverpool, I'd love to go. Yes, there will be in September during the Labour Party conference, which I'm going to go to. Might
We
be
have
the
malted
last
milk.
Labour Party conference that I go to. Well, I'm planning to go and cause some.
I'm going to try and
trouble.
get up for that, definitely.
Are you still a member? Everyone else has
Yeah,
left,
yeah.
mate. Tansky's
I know.
left, and Phil's left, and One Angry
I know.
Pagan's left. Everyone's left.
I know. But I'm co-chairman of the local ward, and it's a new ward, and we need to make it work before I depart. Got to keep democracy going. Somewhere.
Custard creams. Do they have custard creams in America?
Custard creams.
Yeah.
Describe the snack
Sounds
because
familiar.
the names are not always going to be
It's
indicative
like
of what they are.
it's like a sandwich. It's like a little tiny sandwich with like kind of like sweet.
It's like a
buttercream
white
in the middle.
Oreo, a bit like a white
Yes.
Oreo.
Yes,
like
but it's
white
so like a
rectangular.
so like a sandwich cookie.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
that.
So like
maybe.
cookie icing cookie.
What about
Yeah.
nice biscuits or nice biscuits? I never realized.
Not by that
I've never
name,
worked out
though.
with it. No,
Not by that name either.
that's
yeah.
basically some
But-
sugar.
But do
with a
you
biscuit
guys?
underneath
But
it.
you guys? But you guys know Oreos, right?
Oh,
Yeah, we do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we can buy
That's what
Oreos.
our biscuits taste like when they go off.
Okay,
Do you know
okay,
what pirate
comedian.
cookies are?
What about like Chips Ahoy?
Chocolate
No.
chip cookies.
Oh, they
Chips Ahoy.
chocolate chip cookies. Yeah. We have them.
Yeah.
We call them
Do-
Maryland cookies over here.
What?
Do you know what pirate cookies are? Have you ever heard of those?
Pirate
no.
cookies. No, I like
Yeah.
the sound of them.
They're peanut butter cookies.
Oh,
Ollie
no, I
and-
don't like the sound of them.
Ollie is
that sounds-
100. He's like mostly peanut
butter
butter.
was created in Canada. you know?
He's probably 75 to 83% peanut butter as we
Fuck
speak.
you.
Sounds that way.
Ollie loves
that
he
way.
puts peanut butter on burgers, all his snacks. His dog
Not
is
all my
running
snacks,
on
no.
mostly peanut butter as we speak.
No.
Okay, so
That oven
so-
back there is for cooking peanut butter, actually.
According to a recent survey, the fifth favorite biscuit in Britain is a chocolate hobnob. The fourth is a Jaffa cake. The third is a chocolate finger. The second, this is very popular with our Scottish viewers, shortbread. Do you have shortbread biscuits?
That's in.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
know shortbread cookies. Yeah.
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 And number one, the greatest biscuits of all time, the chocolate digestive. Oh yeah. Can't go wrong with
Chocolate
it.
digestive.
What's
Yeah,
wrong?
probably true.
Why don't y'all call it something less medical?
Digestives, look.
Do you have,
Well,
do you have
'cause
banoffee
originally-
pie?
Originally, digestives were sold as a health food. That is
Who
the-
Well, so was Coca-Cola,
I'm-
wasn't it? It
I'm
was
ge-
sold as a medicine.
Yeah.
Cocaine in it.
I'm guessing that y'all's biscuits, digestive biscuits, are leftovers from the war.
No,
You know what I mean?
you're
It sounds
getting
like a
mixed up with
MRE,
Hershey's
you know?
chocolates. Hershey's
Plus,
chocolate was just
digestive
all.
cookies are like a plain cookie.
Right.
It
You
has
know when
barely
they
any
sweep
taste to
up
it,
at the end
that's
of the
it.
day in the chocolate factories in the UK, and then they get all the shavings off the floor, and then they put them into a big bag, and they get sent over to America, and that's how you make Hershey's.
Look, I
It's
don't
racist.
care
It's
that
almost, it's
I don't-
almost racist now.
Why,
This
why,
is-
what's racist? Hershey's tastes like puke.
I don't
You're
care.
hating on
I don't care
American
that you
chocolate.
hate. I don't care that you hate Hershey's. Okay, with your haggis eating ass. Okay, we all have nasty food, but don't let the nasty food divide us, Graham. We should all make fun of France's food together.
Yeah, but I couldn't live. I could live in France. France has decent cheese. America has no decent cheese and no
Oh,
decent.
here we
chocolate.
go. Here we go.
I'm
What about
sorry.
your What about your bourbon?
So, someone in the chat wanted you to defend Twinkies before. And
No,
was
I
like,
will
well,
not.
I
Oh,
will.
here I have a.
defends
I have
them.
a. I have a. I have a. I used to
Survive
be
a
in,
nuclear war.
I used to be in the grocery business, and I was in the grocery business when they said that they were canceling the Twinkie because let me tell you, having spent 15 years in that industry, no one fucking buys them. Everyone likes
really?
the idea of the Twinkie. No one is purchasing fucking. No, we have a bakery right there. They'll get like
I am
fresh
when I'm there.
fresh made donuts or cookies or something like that. No one's going to Twinkies. No one's permanently on a road trip in 1993 where they're going to eat 15 Twinkies. It's fallen out of fashion. It's pure sugar and people don't like it. They want something else. So that's
Sorry,
why it should
in
have
America,
gone.
people make. Did you say that you can bake stuff in America? I didn't think you had the
Yeah.
ovens.
See,
I
see,
have
here
a
we
question. A question.
go. Yes, sir.
What do you call this?
Looks like a fucked up jammy dodger, maybe. I don't know what's in the middle of it.
What
That's a bit of raspberry jam.
raspberry? How?
Jam-
What's the?
jammy dodger?
Is it crunchy?
No,
Jammy
no, it's
Dodger?
pretty. It's very soft.
But our
Very
jammy
soft.
dodgers
Very-
have a
Okay.
yeah, it's a
So-
jammy dodger. But our jammy dodgers have a heart in the middle because we love them. It's
Oh.
shaped in a heart.
Or it's stolen the heart of a fey creature, and that's what it's put inside of it.
Mm.
Each cookie has killed a fey creature.
Questionable sanity says, thank you very much for the super chat. Biscuits brown are similar to digestives.
That is a
Biscuits brown?
raspberry turnover cookie. That's what
Okay.
that's called.
I could
That makes sense.
turnover makes
Right,
sense.
Looks good, Ollie. Looks
Yeah,
good, Ollie.
looks good.
Eat
Looks
it in
good.
front of me.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. It's all good.
Go to,
But no,
We do have
Ollie's
malted milk
super
here.
OnlyFans site to watch him eat that.
I think America needs more cookies. But no, I was surprised you can actually get like decent bread in America, like baked bread, where they actually you go to a bakery and there's bread that they've actually baked in the bakery.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about. No, we don't have no bakeries. We never even bakery. What is
okay.
that? We just eat garbage off the floor. Like, what do you think?
Alright,
of course,
so
we
you
have
get- you get
bakeries.
Those little tiny bimbo loaves that taste like shit and they're full of sugar.
We have small bakeries that are like independents here.
Oh yeah,
here and
no,
there,
Canada because you're civilized. I'm talking about America.
Oof.
Listen to this.
Mikey,
Listen
Mikey,
to
don't take
this.
the bait.
Sorry,
Don't take
Mikey,
the
that's-
bait, Mikey.
I
He's
got-
got a headache. Bless
Yeah,
him.
that's
Leave
what it
him.
is. That's what it is. He's just taking it out on
I've
his
I've
favorite
just
whipping
never seen
boy,
a bakery
America.
in America. I've never seen a bakery in America
You've
in real life.
I
How-
actually have seen him.
I've seen
They
Subway,
don't exist.
which isn't a bakery.
This
No,
is
I've
what
seen
he
him in-
does.
I've
He
seen
just
him in
names the
Brooklyn.
wrong
I've
thing.
seen Dunkin' Donuts, which exists, but it isn't a bakery.
He's like Trump. He just walks around misnaming things, and then he's offended that no one wants to call it the Gulf
I
of
just
America
haven't
with him.
seen-
Like,
Look,
this
I've
is
only
Graham's.
been to- I've
Okay.
only been to Detroit, Chicago, New York, Florida, Miami, Los Angeles, Las Vegas.
And there was
you know,
no bakeries
and I
in
didn't
any
see
of those
bakeries.
cities. Not
No.
even one.
Didn't see any of. Didn't see, there might have been. I just missed them. I just
Could you
didn't
see them?
scroll,
You
Could you
didn't
see-
look hard enough.
Could you see them from your private island, or were you like on the street looking for
No,
bakeries?
No, this is. I was on the street.
Did the
looking for
limousine?
bakeries.
Did the limousine stop off for caviar, Mr. Elite
I
Traveler?
spent a good hour when I was in Florida once looking for some reading material, just a magazine or a newspaper or something. And there's just, where'd you get them from? You don't live in New
See,
York.
there it
where
is.
the fuck did you
There's
get
no books in Florida, y'all. This,
No?
is,
Right.
this is how we pay.
I
Graham
believe
is.
that, though. That could be true.
Graham
I just
Florida.
couldn't find them.
It's
I'm not saying there weren't any. I'm just
Graham-
saying I couldn't find them.
Graham
So
is-
it's nice to
Guys,
say that-
guys.
Earlier
Can I-
today, Graham went to the ocean and with a bucket, and he took a scoop of it out. And he said, "The ocean has no whales." I have looked through all of this water, and there are no whales in this goddamn bucket. Everything must be filtered.
Statistically, that is true. That is true. There's a lot more water than whales in the ocean. It's
And
almost
I'd
an
be quite lucky to see a
insignificant
whale.
percentage.
He said, "Fine, I'll run the
Can
test again." And then he got another
here's the
bucket,
thing,
and he said,
Mikey.
"No whales."
I've seen whales in the water. Like I've seen them. Yeah.
I have as well.
I've never
Swansea,
seen a
Cardiff.
bakery in America.
The hugest trend right now on well, probably last year at this point was Is It Cake? I guess they
Yes.
just did that on the side of the road with a campfire.
Yep.
They would have
Yep,
never
Is It
done
Cake.
that at a bakery. They would only do it in a treehouse somewhere under surveillance from the government. Like
Yeah,
it's
I wondered
crazy
where
when
they
you
kept
say
them.
things.
I wonder
Graham,
if like
Graham, what's
Is It
happened
Cake
is-
bakers
what
live
happened
underground.
is-
Did you
or-
expect there to be a big cupcake on the top of the building to indicate that it was a bakery or something? Is that what we needed to do?
The smell of freshly baked bread would be nice.
Well, they
but-
usually bake in the morning. What time did you go? Because they're not going to bake all day.
Yeah, all times, because it was just, I was leaving, I was arriving, I was
Okay.
pulling into the wrong end of town in the Greyhound bus. Why did they put the
Graham-
Greyhound bus station
Graham,
in the horriblest
sin-
bit of town?
Since you were last in America,
It's next to the
we've
bakeries.
We've introduced Paul Hollywood to them and the Great American Bake Off, and they now know how to cook cakes and bread.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'll go back, after Trump's the day it happens, and I'll go and have enjoy some nice stuff at the bakery.
I'm waiting for Gordon Ramsay to get detained at a flight or something like that, trying to come back into the
Yeah.
States, and he just tears the
Just-
fucking TSA guy a new one, like just totally
I
ripping
was
him
traveling
apart.
through. I was traveling through the southern states on a Greyhound bus, and we stopped in, I don't know, Mississippi or something. And I went to try and find something to eat, and there was a place that called itself a bakery. And I looked at the things that they had on the menu and stuff. I was just like, egg on toast? Okay, I'll
So-
have that. Thinking it was going to actually be on like
Graham?
homemade toast, but it was
Graham?
like a bimbo loaf. So it was like this big, and it was dead
So-
sugary. And then there was like an egg on top of it that was really greasy and not very nice.
So you said you were in Florida trying to find a bakery.
Yeah.
In the United States, Florida has the second most bakeries in the
Has
fucking
it got
country.
two of them?
Texas has the most with
It's got
18,650 bakeries. Florida has 16,460. Like, I
Wow.
mean, you just
Yeah, but I
missed
think-
them, dude.
But no, I went to somewhere called
Not
a
in the
bakery,
Bakers,
but it
rather.
wasn't a bakery.
So,
Do you know what I
this
mean?
is
So
various different bakeries or
does
bakers.
that include Dunkin'
right?
Donuts and Subways?
It's
Why would
bakers.
Subway be a
So
bakery?
That's employed bakers
they
in the
bake their own
in
bread?
Florida. Sorry.
We don't
My-
call
my
it that.
numbers
It's
a
a
little bit off.
sandwich shop. It's a restaurant, not a bakery.
Is it? Okay.
think
I was just
so. I
making
think
sure
this-
that it wasn't covered in the statistics there, the 18 of them.
I think
The
this
average
debate.
baker employed in Florida makes $34,000 a year.
Wow.
It's all right, isn't it?
So,
Pays
Not really.
24,000 for his
Eh, eh,
healthcare.
and
Yeah.
in Texas, it's only 30,000 where there's more employed.
Don't get hit by a car. Sarah Davis, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Marie biscuits are the cheap American. Yes, thank you, Sarah. Marie biscuits. That's what they're called. That's what rich tea biscuits are here.
So that,
knew it
that's
began with
actually
M.
the wrong number of shit.
It's
What?
I
Was
need
it
to-
18?
That's
I
how
need to
many
respond
bakers
with
are
my-
employed, not how many bakers there are. Sorry, it went to the wrong number. I mean, that's how many bakers are employed in Florida, not how many
okay.
bakeries there are.
Can
We'll
I
work in a
can I
factory.
respond to the chat that's been talking about Bakewell tarts endlessly? I just need to do my regular advert for Aldi, who make a cherry Bakewell Jaffa cake, and it is almost the food of the gods. It is.
Is that
amazing food.
is that the same Aldi that's from the States?
Yeah, they might have them there. I don't know. I mean, because
Oh, I
you
don't-
guys don't have cherry. You don't have Bakewell tarts and cherry Bakewell tarts, do you? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So they probably don't do that over there, but it is the food. Of
Oh,
the
it is. So it
Yeah,
is.
three-
So it is the same company.
Yeah, they're German company.
So
Mm.
there's 1,400 different bakeries in Canada.
Yes, I know, because
We've-
I've had baked goods in
and-
Canada. I've had lots of baked goods in Canada. It's
And,
great.
We
and
have
there's
sent-
31,000 in the States. 31,000 different bakery locations.
I think Aldi's on my prison labor list. We don't shop at Aldi. Yeah, they exploit prison labor for their packaging and stuff like that. Yep.
Well, I mean, they're German. That's just in their veins.
Comes to the territory. Yeah, there seems to be quite a few bakeries. I'm gonna go to some bakeries when I'm in America next.
Yep.
If I
You
ever go
just
back.
missed them, buddy.
Well, having resolved
So
the
what do you mean
do
Tim Hortons
Americans,
isn't a
do
bakery?
Americans
They make
have
the best
bread?
fucking donuts.
Question. The big questions in geopolitics have been solved. Do Americans have bread? Yeah, apparently. Okay, sorted.
Nice. Like proper homemade bread, not the mass
I am gonna have to-
kind.
I'm gonna have to call it a night, guys. My you don't want to know why, but I'm gonna have to go.
Oh, okay.
I want them to have bread, but only bread by my definition. Only bread that I would eat, or else it's not bread. You're not you're not the master of bread.
Baguette.
Yes.
You can have whatever
guys,
bread
I'm
we
gonna-
like.
All right.
I'm
Good
going
night,
to-
Mike.
Like
Good night, Mike.
And I'll see you next week
Cheerio,
in
see.
Bristol or Brighton. Mike, are you coming to Brighton next week?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, come on.
You guys coming to Baja Con in August?
It's in
Yeah, go for
Canada.
Oh no,
Oh.
we're not.
It's in Sarnia, Canada, so you should be able to go into Narnia where you are and come out here. In Sarnia, right?
All right. Take
All right,
care,
guys.
Mike.
Bye-bye.
Feel
Really
better.
do need to go. See you
All
later.
right. See you later, mate. Bye.
Later.
He's gonna go sort himself out, and we are gonna. I'm trying to find some bakeries in Fort Lauderdale in
Florida.
Florida, and it keeps pointing me towards Miami. Why do you keep pointing me towards Miami? What is this? I don't
Mine
want
kept
Miami.
pointing me towards Orlando.
I want,
So I understand
Fort
that.
Perhaps
frustration.
look up the word panaderia.
Panaderia. What's that?
That's what they're called in Spanish, because there's a lot of Spanish bakeries, or Hispanic bakeries, Latin bakeries.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. No. I found some. It's okay. Yeah. All right. Well, next time I'm in the States, I'll go check out some.
Don't come here.
Okay.
No,
well,
not safe.
Don't
Not
do
safe.
that. Don't do
when
that.
It's safe again. When it's safe
You-
again.
It's gonna be a
You can
while.
come here if you want.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to come here.
Ooh.
Let's
If-
go.
If,
Give me
you,
membership
co-
perks
if
for
you
your
come
channel.
here to where I actually am, Graham, I'll take you out disc golf. Show you what
Oh
that's all about.
yeah. Can we go? Can
He's
we
gonna
do
call it a
disc
frisbee.
golf?
He's gonna call it a frisbee the whole time.
Can we do disc golf and then disco?
I don't know whether
They
there's
should-
a place to go disco.
I want
Can you
disco.
guys do it simultaneously
Is that
by
what I'll
playing
disco?
at night, and then you can have like a disco ball and like LEDs inside the hole
Well,
in
Yeah.
the
Well,
basket?
That's what I'm
well,
talking about.
just now that you say that, I
Gonna walk
often
out.
carry a speaker with me and play music, so that happens a lot.
Excellent.
And we do play sometimes at night with glow discs. So we have discs that glow in the dark, and we wrap the baskets in the glow in the dark like strings. So that's how
Sounds
you
pretty
see where the
cool.
baskets are.
Hear me out, Ollie.
So
What if all of you wore like a bodysuit that had like a skeleton on it, and then the skeleton on it
Well-
glowed in the dark, so then it would be a bunch of skeletons throwing discs in the dark.
now that you say that, the first time I went out and played glow disc dark, it was for a Halloween tournament. And I also bought a T-shirt that had glow in the dark, and it had skeleton stuff on one side of it, dots up and down one arm, big basket on the back that glowed. I'm just saying.
And on that bombshell,
Been there,
back to
done
the
that.
studio. I predicted the past. There should be a name for that.
I think I
Yeah.
still have that shirt in the back room,
Guessing.
but it doesn't fit anymore. Sorry. That was a lot of years ago.
That was
Right,
back for
well-
younger Ollie.
It's very late here in the United Kingdom, so I think we're probably going to wrap it up around now. So big shout out to Mikey over in Chicago and Ollie over on Prince Edward
Best city in the
Island
world.
in Canada. So thanks very much for coming on, and I'm sorry for talking bollocks. It's fine. I'm a little bit not
You're
with it
just-
tonight.
You're just gonna get it back. That's all. I don't hate you.
Yeah.
I'll just shit talk you back.
I know, but we get a lot of American stuff over here, like too much American stuff.
That's not my
Same here.
problem.
Go down the road without seeing McDonald's or Popeyes or Burger King.
Your
or
your
KFC.
gripe is with your own country for not kicking out these giant corporations when they had the chance, but they
No, I
took the
don't want them to kick
poison.
'em out. I want
They
them
took
to
the poison
fucking
pill.
Tax them. I want them to
They-
tax them till the pips squeak. That's what I want.
But they won't.
Oh. Yeah, the super, what's it called? What's the coffee chain?
Starbucks.
The Starbucks scam.
Tim
What they
Hortons?
No, Starbucks.
Tim
The
Hortons.
Starbucks scam is
Okay.
this, right? Whatever they make in profit in this country, let's say it's £5 billion a year, they charge the British subsidiary of Starbucks £5 billion and £1 to use the logo of Starbucks on all the cups. And so they make £1 loss each year and they'll pay any tax on it.
Yeah. They're never going to play fairly.
No.
They don't
If
do
there's
that.
a way to break the rules, they do.
Yeah, and that's why over here they have Citizens United so that they can lobby and get exactly the laws and not the laws that slow them down.
Yeah, exactly. What a great system. Hooray for capitalism. Woo!
Yeah.
I hope we don't get any red flags for what Scott said earlier about this plane.
It's like, brother. Ixnay on the Guantanamo Bay A. Jesus.
All views expressed by the guests of the show were their own. Forget the rest of us.
They're not indicative to the views and opinions of the Bin Podcast Network.
Absolutely. And, or Politics Social. Or anyone.
We pay our taxes and
Derivatives.
follow the law around
We
here.
buy derivatives. Anyway, the check for using your trademark is in the post, Mikey. Hopefully it'll get there soon. And in the meantime, thanks to Mikey, thanks to Ollie, thanks to everyone for watching at home, and thanks for the super chat and the chat. I'll be back on Sunday with Sunday service at 9 o'clock. Until then, I'll say thanks for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.
Bye.
Hey. Right, well done on that. Are we still on your channel?
Yep,
Mikey, are we still
let's
going
say
out?
goodnight. Good night, everyone. I know it's late over there. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for the super chat, Shane K. You've been super generous today, and also thanks to Alistair for the 5 gifted. Our membership is so large now, so we're gonna make a video to say thanks to all of you individually together.
Do we have to make up any of those little stickers or whatever for members? Whatever they're called? The
The
special
like-on
emojis?
things, special
The
emojis.
special emojis?
I've got
Oh, yeah, I
access
got
to
it.
special emojis now.
I'm gonna do all of your faces, but I gotta get a high res picture of each one of you, and then I'll make your faces all emotes, emojis. But thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Let's do one sound. Let's see. We got oh, that one doesn't work. This one.
I love Tesla.
Gross.